My mic is on, yeah.
Yeah, we're going live. Good afternoon and welcome here to Nethermoor for another important game in Guiseley season. This afternoon it's Barrow who are the visitors here to this part of West Yorkshire, and we're looking forward to building on what was an absolutely fantastic result just about 9 days ago away at North Ferriby. It's of course so important this afternoon that Guiseley get back onto winning ways and continue that good form after a fantastic 3-2 victory at North Ferriby. To come back here, play Barrow and go behind again would be very, very disappointing indeed. But there's been plenty of changes, and we'll be talking about the team news later on, bringing you full match commentary. I'm Colin Robertson. Alongside me in the build-up we'll be having the views of Tim Richards and also Francis Granger as we look ahead to this afternoon's game. First of all, Tim, this is going to be an important fixture, isn't it, for Mark Bauer, for Danny Boshell and all the boys to get back into winning ways?
Yeah, it's all about this kind of returning from the 3 points they got. And as well, it's 4 points from a possible 6 in the last 2 games. So, yeah, it really is important now to keep this momentum going. And despite having this frustrating break in games that sometimes is unavoidable, you just got to respond now after that and keep this momentum going. Like, that's a big thing Mark's on about. It's the momentum to carry on into this game and get the season kick-started now.
Well, of course, Guiseley were absolutely in fine form in that game against North Ferriby, and when I spoke to Mark after the game, he was delighted with the result. Joined now by Mark Bauer after the 3-2 victory against North Ferriby. Mark, it's been a long time coming, but I've been waiting to see this smile on your face.
Yeah, thoroughly deserved victory. Yeah, I've just said to the lads in there, maybe we had a little bit of luck along the way as well with a couple of bits that happened in each box, but we've deserved that luck after what we've taken in the stomach over the last couple of weeks, because we've not got what we deserved in other games. We've probably played as well, if not better, in other games, produced more chances and not won the game, but the lads defended magnificently in the second half. We took our chances when they came, and we played some good football in patches. I think we can play better. I think there's things that we can still improve, but it's nice to get that win, and it's a couple of games unbeaten now. It just takes that monkey off our back a little bit. You want another game Saturday, really, which is a bit disappointing with no game, but we'll get the lads sorted out and look to go again, because you know that takes up the league table a little bit. If we can string a few more results together, we'll you know, we start pushing towards the top half of the table, and who knows from there. I think we've shown against one of the top teams that we're a match for anyone in this league. And just having a look at it on the way tonight, now we've played Ferriby, we've played every single team in the top 9 in the league. So we've had a very, very difficult run of games, so we've come through it. Well, hopefully we can capitalise on what we've got coming up.
Yeah, it was a really impressive result. They'd only conceded at home in the league before tonight. And obviously we've gone and scored 3 tonight. Attacking wise, we were just superb.
Yeah, especially in the first half. I mean, we could have probably had 4 or 5 in the first half. We had some great chances, but we kept the ball quite well. And Gavin Rothery back in his position in the hole, although he can probably do better. He did provide that little focal point for us. We've got the likes of Bosh and Jack Ray in there that can feed him the ball. Wayne Brooksby was back on form as well tonight. Burnsy did a good job for us. It was an all-round team performance, and then AJ at the top of the pitch, especially first half, was absolutely superb up against 2 big central defenders. Really created a platform for us. But there's a nice feeling in the dressing room. We've made a few changes. A few players have come in since the Altrincham game, and we've got players that want to be here. We've got, Danny Boshell's come back. He's come back for less money than what he was on at Altrincham to do 2 jobs. We've got AJ up front that's come in. He had a more lucrative offer to go somewhere else, but he wanted to play for us. Adam Lockwood come in and done a fantastic job for us. So we want to get the personnel in the club right, and the sort of people that want to put this shirt on and do well for Guiseley and do well for us as a management team.
Danny Boshell obviously coming back for his first game. It's something we weren't really necessarily expecting at the beginning of this season, and I'm sure you'll have plenty more to say that potentially at the Meet the Manager night on Wednesday, or tomorrow night indeed. But just on the field tonight, like you say, just seemed to give that presence and passing movement that we needed in midfield.
Yeah, in football there's 2 types of braveness. There's the sort of braveness that the likes of Lockie and Jake showed in the second half, putting your head on the end of things, putting your head in where other people's feet are flying. And there's another brave where when the pressure's on, you've got that composure and the confidence to put your foot on the ball, have a touch, not panic, and pass the ball and take that chance that you're effectively bringing the ball down and inviting someone to come and tackle you. He's got that for us, and it just can calm you down and take the pressure off. And even though they did have pressure against us in the second half, we did have those spells where we did calm it down, and we did well. I know Bosh really well, known him for a long time. I know that he will do a good job for us. We have a similar philosophy in how we want to play football, and you saw bits of that tonight. Hopefully we can get better with him on board, and we can introduce more little bits in training and just improve on what we've done tonight, and hopefully we can do well in the long run.
Finally, just about the game, their second goal. Has Stephen Drench said anything about that? It looks from where I was standing like something from the 1957 Cup final.
We just, on the bench, we couldn't believe it. I mean, Drench, he said he's with one arm, the lad's forearm smashed him in the face, and the other arm's pulled his arm down. So, it kind of was one of those where you think, oh my goodness, not again. Things are going to conspire against us. But credit to the lads, they showed great character. I think we started to show that on Saturday when we'd been in the ascendancy against Histon and they scored the equaliser. We could have caved in because they'd had a spell, but we didn't. We came back again tonight. We've gone 1-0 down, got ourselves in front, shown character, and even when you get one given against you like was given at that end of the pitch, they went again and got another goal and won the game. So pleased with the performance, pleased with the character, effort, and pleased to get that first win.
Mark, we're all pleased with that. It was great to see you smiling. Cheers, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Mark Bauer there talking to me after the North Ferriby game in which Guiseley had won 3-2, and as you heard from that interview, Tim, he was absolutely delighted with the performance and just finally pleased to get the 3 points, his first win as a manager for Guiseley.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone associated with the club was just so happy for him that he finally got that relief of 3 points. I mean, it's just been such a frustration. There's been some great performances there, especially some first halves, and you kind of saw the 3 points on their way there. But then the 3 points weren't quite coming, and it was just, I guess, like the massive relief, and everyone associated with the club was just so happy for him, and hopefully now they've got that belief now that they've got the 3 points, they've got the win, they can do it again, and especially coming at home where we haven't won. It was the winner away at North Ferriby, so hopefully coming home and you can get that kind of home belief here, that'll be a massive relief to get the 3 points.
Yeah, and of course there's two returning players as well this afternoon that will make a big difference. Danny Boshell, and we hope as well, of course, Danny Forrest, who of course playing against one of his former teams as well in Barrow. Of course, nobody has seen a win at home since the game against Workington. I think that was back in August here at Nethermoor. So those players, there'll be a lot of expectation on them to continue the good form the good performance that we showed 9 days ago.
Yeah, definitely. But as well as having the good performance, you've got to get those points coming in, and it is a big chance today to keep the momentum going and get another 3 points. And like you say, with the guys coming into the side, it's sometimes one that you want to come into where the team are starting to get momentum, but you've got to have that confidence and self-belief in yourself that you can help the team move forward coming in. So it'll be an interesting one to see how the new boys on the return do, and hopefully for them they can keep this going for the lads.
Well, another man who'll be in the stands today is Francis Granger. Francis is here with us now, just at the moment. Francis, of course, you're going to be on Twitter duty today, but you weren't at the North Ferriby game, so you're one of these fans who hasn't seen a result for quite some time.
No, I mean the last game was the draw against Histon when they played well, but you can see a sort of lack of concentration in the back, a sort of equaliser. The Ferriby was it was a slightly sort of pleasing, quite a slightly surprising result. It was a very good win, and I spoke to Mark Barrow, and there was genuine confidence around the camp that they can turn the form around.
Well, there's been confidence for a while. That's not really the question, has it? I mean, people have felt the performances have merited results in previous games, but we just hadn't got over the line. We hadn't got the result, and in this home crowd this afternoon, there is a lot of fans who've been turning out week in, week out, and Nethermoor perhaps haven't gone on the travels. And haven't seen anything like a win since Workington. That makes it all the more important that guys get the result today.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's important to sort of keep focused, approach this game like they did with North Ferriby. They've got a very strong lineup today, and I think the same system, and I think there could be another positive result today.
Yeah, well, as Francis alludes to, the team sheets are out, and we will go through the team lineups and discuss formations shortly. But first, as Francis said, he did catch up with Mark Bauer a little earlier, ahead of this afternoon's big fixture here at Nethermoor, and this is the interview that he had.
Francis Grange, I'm now joined by Mark Bauer, ahead of Guiseley's match against Barrow. Well, Mark, it was a very good win at North Ferriby. Seems to be a lot of confidence being picked up. And obviously, there's now been this 2-week break. Do you think it's been beneficial? Would you have liked to have this game perhaps earlier?
Well, I think after a win like we had at Ferriby, we would have certainly liked to have played on the Saturday after. But we've used the time to, continue the sort of work we've been doing in the last few weeks and work on how we want to play, and a bit of fitness work again for the lads. So there's nothing we can do about it. That's just the way the fixtures have fallen, and the sort of deck we've been dealt. So you just get on with it. But everyone's been looking forward to this game today, so we'll go out there and try and carry on the sort of little run we've put together so far.
Yeah, I mean, to focus with that win away to North Ferriby. It would, before the game, someone would have made it might be quite a tough match. So there must be a quite high level of confidence now. Perhaps maybe a turn in form could be around the corner.
Yeah, well, certainly. I mean, I thought the performance on the Saturday before against Histon overall was good, and we probably deserved to win that game. But we went to Ferriby, with a couple of new additions in the side again to add to what we'd already put in there, and with Gavin Rothery back from suspension. So a lot of things came into place on that night, and we had more of a team out on the pitch that we want to, get out regularly on the pitch and take us forward. So yeah, the confidence, when you're on a run, when you've lost 5 or 6 in a row, confidence takes a hit. But to turn it around and play well in the manner that we have done, it gives everyone confidence going forward. Now that if we do the things that we've been doing, they'll get results.
Yeah, I suppose with the confidence from the win at Ferriby, will it be a fairly sort of keep the continuity going, or there may be a few tweaks in the style of play for today's opponent?
I wouldn't say in the style. No, we'll look to pass the ball. We'll look to get on the ball and pass it as best we can. Conditions today is a nice bit of moisture on the pitch for the ball to zip around on, and it's looking in really good condition, and that'll suit how we want to play. But at the same time, we'll have to do the ugly side and work hard and stick our head in where boots are flying and all that kind of stuff. But with the quality we've got, if we do the ugly side, then we can give anyone in this league a game, and we're confident that we can go out there, give up an account of ourselves, and hopefully that'll bring us 3 points again today.
Yeah, and also the news midweek that Danny Forrest has been re-signed for the team. What is his main attributes that he provides? What was the motivation behind this re-signing?
Well, we've been playing the 4-3-3 formation, and Michael Burns has been filling in on the left-hand side. Probably not his ideal position. We wanted to get someone in with maybe a little bit more attack-minded to play that role, and that's where Dan will play today. I know the qualities that Dan brings. I've known him for a long time, and he suits the style of play that we're looking to play. A passing style of football, and he can always chip in with a few goals as well. So he's been played at Workington, got a few games under his belt, so his fitness should be good, and scored a couple of goals there as well. And playing in our side, we'll hope to bring the best out of him. Contribute to the squad in his performance, and hopefully with goals as well.
Okay, Mark, thanks very much.
Cheers.
Well, that was Mark Bauer chatting to Francis Granger there, just ahead of this afternoon's game here at Nethermoor. And it was interesting to hear what Mark was saying there, isn't it, Tim, about just continuing off where they went well on Tuesday last week.
Yeah, he's obviously had that massive relief for finally getting his first win for the side, and yet he's obviously confident as well, because he's playing an attacking formation with the 4-3-3. He's liking to continue, and there's a lot of attacking players out there. So he's obviously got the confidence now from that first win that Guiseley really did deserve with the performances. So it's great to see. It's great to hear him kind of really positive now, and he's still got the club going with good performances, but now hopefully the points will start coming in, which is all important for this league.
Well, it's just about time for the teams to come out. The tunnel has been extended to the pitch side, and we're just waiting for the referee to bring the two sides out. That's a good time to go down the team news. Just before we do so, just a quick note Danny Ellis, who's been joining us for the last few weeks, isn't able to make it today. Unfortunately, to compound his knee, he's also now got a problem with. He sent me a message to say he's got flu as well. So we hope you're feeling better, Danny, and we'll be keeping an eye out for you at the ground just in case you've managed to brave the conditions to get down here. Lovely day for football. Windy, cold, wet. It's just the conditions that should set up a really good game. Let's go through those two team lineups. First of all, for Barrow, they line up with 1 to 11. Tony McMillan, the goalkeeper, Andy Burns, Craig Radcliffe, Robbie Williams, Dan Preston, Richard Davis, Paddy Lacey, Sam Sheridan, Gareth Arneson, Marcus Carver and Nicky Walker. On the bench for them, Danny O'Donnell, Alex Ray Harvey, Jamie Allen, Nick Rushton and Dan Parkinson. There's no middle-aged crooners on there to bench, so apologies for that. Then for the Lions, 1 to 11, Stephen Drench, Andy Holdsworth, Reece Maynell, Jack Rea, Adam Lockwood, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Danny Boshell, Alex Johnson, Danny Forrest and Gavin Rothery. Two Dannys there making their return home debuts, re-debuts. I don't know how you term them, to be honest. And then on the bench, it's Ben Parker, Michael Potts, Louis Swain, Craig Hobson and Stephen Dickinson. Michael Potts, unfortunately, will be having to make way, but he's been in excellent form this season. What do you make of that lineup then, Tim?
Yeah, like we were discussing before, we've got a lot of attacking intent there with Brooksby, Johnson, Forrest and Rothery. So it really will be interesting to see if Guiseley can push on early on and try and get a goal from an early attack. It's just one picking out is Gavin Rothery. He's been really important for the side, and Mark has identified him in the week as a key player for his side when they're playing well. He's playing well, it seems. So Gavin Rothery in there will be an important player, and as well, seeing Danny Forrest return, let's hope he can get that goal in Guiseley colours again.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he lines up. I mean, we were talking about the formation just beforehand, and we obviously think it's going to be a back four with Stephen Drench obviously in goal, Andy Holdsworth at right back, captain again, Reece Maynell at left back, Adam Lockwood and Jake Lawler the two centre halves. Not quite sure defensive midfield wise. We think it's Jack Rea and Danny Boshell will take the holding two. It'll be 4-2-3-1. Gavin Rothery in the middle of that three with Danny Forrest, I would say, and Wayne Brooksby perhaps on the widths, and then of course Alex Johnson up front. But we'll wait to see if we get that incorrect. Just to let you know, we are bringing you full live match commentary of this game this afternoon. If you are joining us from the opposition side, we'll try and call it as we see it. And of course, just before we will of course be about to embark on a minute silence. So you'll hear the full minute silence now once the referee blows the whistle here. Well, a tremendous moment of applause, and it's for Roy Cyril, a lifelong fan, sadly passed away this week. We've got obviously a great family here at the club, not all levels of non-league football, so wonderful to see that so wonderfully felt as it went round the ground. And we are just about to get started in this game. The two teams just going through the lineups now, and just looking to to toss the coin and decide who's going to shoot from which way to which, and the referee has gone through those rigmaroles, and it's going to be Guiseley, who are playing in their white shirts, navy blue shorts and navy blue socks, shooting from right to left. They'll have the kick-off, right to left as we sit, and that means they'll be attacking the railway end of the ground. And for Barrow, they're playing in all yellow this afternoon, kicking off from left to right as we sit in the main stand here. If you know the ground, if you're not familiar with it, we're in the main stand on the left-hand side of the ground. And the game is underway. Guiseley launch a long one forward, straight to the goalkeeper, Tony McMillian, who takes the ball down. Alex Johnson is indeed ploughing that lone furrow, and I think our formation call is just about right. Danny Forrest taking up a position in the 3 on the right-hand side. Wayne Brooksby, on the right-hand side. Danny Forrest out here on the left at the moment. Ball down the left channel currently with Barrow defending. And Dan Preston it is, who's under pressure from Alex Johnson. Tries to get the ball out, but can't because Gavin Rothery's picked up the loose one and then tries to whip this one into the penalty area. Earns a throw-in, just about level with the 6-yard box. Back here to Andy Holdsworth. Square now to Rothery. Rothery turns his man, gets into the area, plays it into Holdsworth. Holdsworth's offside. The flag went up very quickly, but lovely little interplay there, Tim, from Guiseley.
Yeah, great start from Guiseley. Good attacking play. Nice from Rothery there. We said before he could be really central to this game today. Picking it up on the edge and just playing it through nicely. Just a shame Holdsworth couldn't hold his line there.
So Guiseley showing some intent as they come forward. And Barrow have a free kick inside their own penalty area, and it's McMillan, the goalkeeper, who launches it up to the halfway line. Just into the opening 2 minutes here. Barrow now head the ball forward in towards the edge of the 18-yard box where Jake Lawler helps it back to Stephen Drench. Out here all the way back into Barrow territory. It was like a rugby clearance where we made up the yards there. Andy Burns is the right back for Barrow today. He's going to take this throw in. But little shape in that move, and both sides just finding their feet at the moment. Burns for Barrow with the throw, looks for Gareth Arneson. Arneson loses out, and Rhys Maynell steps across and tries to get the ball into the penalty area. Of course, last time we played Barrow, it was this heartbreaking FA Cup story for Guiseley once again in the first round proper. A late winner in the replay just before it looked like we were heading to extra time. Sent Barrow through to the second round proper. The throw-in's been cleared by Barrow up to the halfway line where Jake Lawler shows some good footwork, plays it square to Lockwood. Made a big difference at centre half. He lays it into the feet of Andy Holdsworth, and Holdsworth and Brooksby combine and send the ball back to Stephen Drench. Drench under pressure from Barrow, and in the end shows some neat footwork to take it past the man who's making his debut today for the visitors, Marcus Carver. The clearance up to the halfway line and then sent back in. A long ball forward, well watched by Lockwood, but now picked up here by Richard Davis. Davis tries to get past two Guiseley players who are defending well in numbers, and then Rhys Maynell steps across, gets the clearance away, blasts into the foot of Gareth Arneson, and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, well dealt with by Maynell there. Showed experience at the back. Sometimes just been lacking with Guiseley at the moment is that experience at the back, but now they've got this solid back four with a lot of experienced heads there, a lot of height and physicality, and hopefully that will be able to shore up this defence for Guiseley.
So it's a goal kick, plenty of wind about. It certainly looks like it's going to have an impact on this game. Do you think it'll have the conditions will play their part?
Yeah, well, we felt this wind ahead, and it's kind of died down now. But yeah, we could with the second half feel it pick up a bit and affect the play a bit.
Danny Forrest just trying to get on the end of the Stephen Drench clearance. He's pushed in the back, and Guiseley win a free kick at the edge of the centre circle. Danny Boshell stands over it. He's got players to aim for on the edge of the 18-yard box, including Lockwood. Adam Lockwood has stepped forward from centre half. Just taking the time to take this. Guiseley looking to play this long. Boshell up into the penalty area, up towards Lockwood. Lockwood can't make the leap, goes the second time, gets cleared by Barrow, and then eventually cleared away by Craig Radcliffe. And out for a Guiseley throw. Brooksby on the right-hand side. Midway through the Barrow half. takes the throw short to Jack Rea, gets it back. And then a little 1-2, and Rea helps it forward, looking for Johnson. Johnson's bundled over, no free kicks given. And then Richard Davis can come away with the ball. But Guiseley win it back well with Gavin Rothery. Good tackle, though, from Sam Sheridan, the captain today. He makes an important interception, and it's out for another Guiseley throw. Good start here from Guiseley. Jack Rea picks up the ball from the throw, and it goes all the way back now to Jake Lawler. Lawler's played it long, and Forrest was asking for it short, and it's gone out into touch.
Yeah, maybe there Danny Forrest is just still just into the team. He didn't want it there. He wanted it at his feet, and it came over the top. And it's got to be careful today because the ball will zip on this pitch, as Mark mentioned beforehand. There's still a lot of moisture on the pitch, so maybe Forrest was right there. It needs to come to his feet rather than that ball over the top.
Guiseley now have the throw to defend, and Barrow get the ball up to the halfway line before Andy Holdsworth steps across. He wins it, lays it back down the line on the right-hand channel where Boshell gets a head on, but it's well cleared, and then a long ball forward from Barrow, and it's given something for Arneson to get onto the end of. Takes a shot, a snapshot from the edge of the area, but that's the danger of the man who came from Workington. He's just so good at crafting an opportunity, and it was just a hopeful ball over the top, but Arneson knew what he was doing, got in the right place, but just couldn't make the connection he wanted.
Yeah, it came from nowhere there, the ball over the top, and unfortunate he couldn't get onto it.
Now Rhys Maynell's coming down the left-hand side for Guiseley. Good tackle, though, from Robbie Williams to deny him, but Guiseley have a throw now on the left-hand side. And it's taken short to the feet of Danny Forrest, laid back by Maynell into the feet of Boshell. Forrest now with his back to goal, 3 or 4 players around him. Gets the second bite of the cherry and gives it back to Boshell. Boshell sprays the ball out well here to Andy Holdsworth. Holdsworth playing at right back, comes over the centre circle and then sends a ball into the edge of the 18-yard box. Hoofed away by Dan Preston and out for a Guiseley throw on the halfway line.
It was good to see Danny Forrest eager to get on the ball there. He's looking interesting early on, so hopefully he'll keep chipping in here for the game.
Ball chipped forward. Alex Johnson lays it back here towards Andy Holdsworth, but Holdsworth's lost out, and now Marcus Carver can come forward. Great tackle there, though, from Alex Johnson, defending well. Gets bundled over, but the referee waves the advantage. Played on towards Rhys Maynell, into Forrest. Maynell and Forrest combine well. Maynell gets the ball back now, some yards from goal. Plays the ball in towards Johnson, just ahead of him, and then cut out well by Craig Radcliffe, who clears his lines well. Guiseley have a throw on the left-hand side. Danny Forrest takes it short with Rothery. Plays it into Jack Rea. Rea then just knocks the ball into Barrow, and it's easy for them to clear. But most of this, early stages of this first half being played in the Barrow half.
Yeah, it is. It's good from Guiseley so far. They're attacking well, but they're also holding their own in midfield. The front men like Johnson now working back really well to collect the ball and get it forward again for another Guiseley attack.
So Guiseley now with the ball once again. Maynell down the left-hand channel, cut out by Burns. Headed on by Forrest, out for a throw-in. The possession with the Lions, but to be fair, the best chance so far has fallen to Barrow, who had a chance with Gareth Arneson, getting the end of a long ball forward and getting a snapshot away, but didn't have the power to beat Stephen Drench. Ball goes forward. 9 minutes gone in this game. It is Guiseley v Barrow here on Guiseley AFC Radio, and it's 0-0. And if you have any feedback or comments you'd like to make about the game, do let us know. We're at Guiseley Radio on Twitter, and we'll gladly mention you, as long as you keep it clean. That's the deal. Barrow now have the ball here with Richard Davis. He's played it square in here to Paddy Lacey. Lacey tries to feed it through, cut out by Guiseley, only as far as Sam Sheridan. Sheridan now back here to Davis. Davis steps across and plays it square once again. Barrow just probing, trying to break down Guiseley. Play it wide now to Burns. Burns gets across into the penalty area, cut out by Rhys Maynell. First corner of the game, and it's going to be one for the visitors.
Yeah, Barrow's starting to get into this game. They're passing nicely down the right-hand side there. Slightly worrying for Guiseley, and they've got to deal with a corner now.
So the ball just having to be recovered, and it's a corner on the right-hand side as Barrow attack the Guiseley goal. It's going to be taken by Sheridan, the captain. Floats one in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. headed away by Wayne Brooksby. This is Barrow's best spell of the opening 10. And it's Andy Burns who's got a throw in now for the visitors. Midway through the Guiseley half on the right-hand side. Burns just checking, looking for options. Launches it up to the edge of the 60, 18-yard box. Played back here to Nicky Walker. Walker out wide to Davis. Davis tries to whip the ball into the area. Cut out once again by Maynell. And in the end, it takes a kind deflection off Davis, and it's gone for a Guiseley throw.
Yeah, again, experienced defending from Maynell. He knew what he was doing, and he wins a throw-in. Like we say, you just need that experience there to calm it down at the back.
Guiseley now having to defend in numbers. Barrow still coming forward. Out wide here to Sam Sheridan. Sheridan floats one in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. The man, Arneson, is who they're looking for, but it's cut out by Holdsworth, and Brooksby helps it all the way back to Stephen Drench. Launched up here towards Alex Johnson. Johnson goes looking. Dan Preston thinks there's something wrong. Johnson doesn't give it up. The goalkeeper comes out. McMillan and blasts the ball against Johnson's feet, but the ball doesn't defer kindly for Guiseley. And Barrow still have chance to clear their lines, but it's picked up again here by Danny Boshell and Gavin Rothery. Boshell and Rothery combine well, but then Guiseley are beaten, this time by Davis, and then Burns clears well up to the halfway line. Rhea steps across though, picks the ball up. Maynell sends it down the left channel once again, looking for Johnson. Johnson's blocked this time, but he's still looking for it. The goalkeeper's trying to just shatter that one out for a goal kick, but Johnson wasn't giving that one up, and McMillan again was living by his nerves.
Yeah, confident from the Barrows keeper McMillan there. He was holding off Alex Johnson, who looks really lively early on here. He's been flying in for some challenges, as well as Danny Forrest looking very energetic, and Gavin Rothery up there as well. They're all really up for this game, you can tell here at Nethermoor.
Also be pleased with the defending in that little spell there when Barrow had the ball in the final third, but didn't threaten really that goal. But we are young into the game. It's only 12 minutes in. And Barrow now have a throw-in inside their own half. Very blustery here at Nethermoor, real autumnal conditions. I've made the error of not bringing my gloves, so I don't think my hands are going to be any use much in the second half.
Yeah, I've got my gloves on today, but I don't feel like they're working as much as they usually do. It. The wind is really, really picking up here.
It's raw, I think is the word. Now, Guiseley have picked up the ball from the Barrow throw on the touchline. Danny Forrest couldn't keep it in, and Burns will take the throw. Lays it square, launched forward by Sheridan, headed away by Jake Lawler. Under pressure, and Danny Boshell does well, and then lays it square here to Jack Rhea. Jack Rhea helps it out wide here to Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby hugging that touchline, has Holdsworth on the overlap, but goes into the penalty area, tries to cross it with a left boot. It wasn't as good, as you can probably tell from the groans, as some of the footwork that he showed on a week on Tuesday. And this time it's gone behind for a goal kick to Barrow. A good work there from Guiseley down that right flank. It's a goal kick, 13 minutes gone. Goalless here at Nethermoor. Header away from Jake Lawler on to the halfway line, and Barrow keep moving the ball down the right-hand side. Cut out well by Lockwood, but then a good ball forward here from Davis. Lawler has to step across to take the ball away from Carver. A player who's come from Accrington, making his debut this afternoon for the visitors. Headed on now as Barrow look to get the ball into that final third, but it's picked up by Wayne Brooksby, who starts a mazy run, comes over the halfway line. Lays the ball to the left here, where Rhys Maynell picks it up and plays it forward to Johnson. Johnson is thrown to the ground by Williams, and Williams can have no complaints. There's already a bit of a battle building up between those two. Referees calling Williams across, and it's just going to be a talking to, but a clumsy foul there from Williams, it has to be said.
No arguments at all with the decision from the referee. He just pulled him over. It was almost a wrestling move. I think I watched some wrestling on telly, and that was reminiscent of that.
So Guiseley have a free kick now in a dangerous position. We are some 20, 25 yards from goal. Wayne Brooksby on the left-hand side of the attack. It's a wall of four ahead of him. Brooksby whips the ball in. Well held by McMillan. To be fair, it didn't have the pace, and McMillan knew where it was coming. It probably needed to get ahead of a man coming in across the 18-yard box, but nobody was there to be on the end of it. And it's going to be a clearance from Barrow. And the opportunity lost. Barrow now come down the right-hand side. Richard Davis has a chance to get the ball into the area. Cut out well. It was Brooksby who got a foot on it. Danny Boshell's knocked it out into touch. Second chance here for Barrow to get the ball into the area. And it comes down this right-hand side where they've been getting some joy so far. Walker tries to cross. I don't know if it was a shot come cross, but it's gone straight to Stephen Drench. Drench tries to let Andy Holdsworth go clear with it, but in the end it was a little bit too far ahead of him. Radcliffe tried to step across and prevent the ball moving any further. It's gone out for a throw. And it's hard to see the pattern of play at the moment, isn't it? It's, both sides are clearly attacking early doors, but neither really have created any clear-cut opportunities, save for maybe that Gareth Arneson chance.
Yeah, the only chance came from, like we said, from nowhere really, coming a ball, ominous ball over the top, and Drench had to be aware with the shot, but he didn't quite get the action. But yeah, like we say, the Guiseley are playing some nice football attacking, so it's good early signs, but we just need to maybe carve out a few chances.
Danny Forrest, himself a former Barrow player, plays the ball into the feet of Rhys Maynell. Laid back by Rothery. Into the feet of Danny Boshell, and Rothery gets the ball once again. Back to goal, lays it into Johnson. Johnson turns well, he's got three players around him. He's going to have to help the ball out wide, and he does so to Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby now, two players on him himself. Nicky Walker defending well, lays it back though to Holdsworth. Holdsworth keeps the ball forward down this right-hand side. Back to Brooksby. Just takes the sting out of it. Jack Rhea now tries to feed one forward. Finds Holdsworth. Holdsworth's onside. Lays it square to Rhea. Rhea now to Rothery. Guys, working this forward onto the edge of the penalty area. Out wide here to Danny Forrest. Forrest into the area. Plays a lovely little back heel. Into Rhys Maynell. Takes a shot, but it's blocked really well by Burns. A good tackle there to deny Rhys Maynell, but good initiation from Danny Forrest to just use the little back heel to feed Rhys Maynell. Guys, he still have the ball, but it's all the way back with Stephen Drench at the moment. And Drench lofts one forward. And it's all the way back to Tony McMillan. Goes over the head of Alex Johnson. Good football. Really patient build-up there from Guiseley.
Yeah, it's good to see them throw men forward as well. You saw Rhys Maynell overlapping there. Excellent awareness with Danny Forrest, knowing he was behind him. Just ran away from Maynell a bit. But as we say, men getting forward is not a problem at all early on for Guiseley.
Ball's just out in touch. McMillan's launched ball forward has gone out for a throw for Guiseley in the left-back position. And it's still goalless. If you're just joining us, 18 minutes in, Guiseley 0, Barrow 0. It's cold. There haven't been too many chances, but it's been interesting stuff so far. Just have to wait for another ball to come. Guiseley still have a throw, just about where they were moments earlier. Referee today, Ian Turner, requests another one to come on. Eventually it does. Into the left-back position. It's thrown out by Rhys Maynell. Nodded on by Forrest. Picked up well here by Dan Preston. Into the feet of Sheridan. Sheridan, who's captain today, in place of the unusual man, Edwards, who was sent off and is serving a suspension. Barrow retained possession on the halfway line. Played forward by that man, Sheridan. Up to the edge of the area. Taken down really well by Arneson. Takes a shot. Blocked by Lockwood. Good ball there from Sam Sheridan. Really well taken down by Arneson. Great block from Lockwood, and it's a corner to Barrow.
Yeah, Guiseley have got to be aware of Arneson here. He's looking lively when the ball comes over to him. Took it down brilliantly, got the shot away, and he's won his team a corner. 19
minutes gone. Barrow have the corner. The ball whipped in. Swerved in the air, but plucked out of the air by Stephen Drench, who tries to play Alex Johnson in quickly, but it's just gone straight over Johnson. It was well shadowed by Williams this time into the hands of McMillan without any problem. Now Guiseley will be defending because the ball's gone forward. Lockwood knocks the ball out. Just lets Marcus Carver know he's there as well. So watch out, he did have his hands on him, and that's the sort of thing that can concede a free kick. Barrow have a throw. It looks like it's going to be Burns who's going to perhaps launch a long one here as the wind gets up, as you probably can hear. And plays it into the feet in the end, short to Carver. Carver gets the ball into the area. It's cut out well by Lockwood. Square now from Rothery to find Holdsworth. Holdsworth's got a challenger Radcliffe, but does well to beat him to the ball. And then a tackle from Paddy Lacey is ridden by Holdsworth before he cheaply gives the ball away. And now Davis can come forward for Barrow. Into the feet now of Arneson on the edge of the D. He's pulled over, and it's a dangerous free kick that's now given to Barrow.
Yeah, the Guiseley player's not too happy with the decision there. Jack Rea held his hands up and was a bit confused with the decision, but this is a dangerous position, and they're going to need to be really organised here. The Guiseley defence, Drench organising his wall early on to get it safe.
Yeah, it's really central, just about 2 yards up from the edge of the D. Guiseley now have to watch this. It's in a dangerous place. Stephen Drench has been shadowed, I think, by is it Arneson, just to try and distract him from it. There's a 5-man wall, and the free kick comes in. It's whipped in, it's low, and it's gone past Stephen Drench and into the back of the net from the captain, Sam Sheridan. 21 minutes gone, and Sheridan it is who takes a sweet free kick, bitten down into the right-hand corner, and it's yet another tale of woe for Guiseley. And perhaps Stephen Drench was missighted because of the distraction techniques that Gareth Arneson played on him, but he'll be very disappointed to have conceded at that post. And after 21 minutes gone, it's Guiseley 0, Barrow 1.
Yeah, we said it was a dangerous position for a free kick, and we just didn't expect to see it come in like that. The wind's picking up, and that might have caused a bit of distraction for Drench. It bounced in front of him. It was a low one coming into the corner. He couldn't quite push it away, and it just stuck in the corner. An excellent position for a free kick to score from. So it's a good finish, but it's maybe disappointing from Drench's point of view there.
Well, Guiseley are now a goal behind, and I'm not kidding you. The weather is getting absolutely awful. Guiseley, though, move forward down the right-hand side. You can probably hear that wind. There's a really howling, driving rain now that's the stand is offering very little protection from. Guiseley now have to move forward, though, with Danny Boshell on the halfway line. Square now to Lockwood. The wind behind them for the moment, perhaps. Lockwood square now to Maynell. Maynell tries to launch it down the left-hand side. Cut out well by Davis. And it's an absolutely dreadful conditions to come and watch the football. But just it's still not a good start here for Guiseley. They're trailed by a goal to 0. And then a late challenge here on Rhys Maynell. Maynell's down. The referee's going to call for a free kick, and it was Davis who's being pulled across. The Guiseley fans are not happy. A late challenge there from Davis. I just slightly missighted on that, Tim. What did you make of that?
Yeah, it was a late one. He caught the top of Rhys Maynell's boot there, right in front of us. Maynell was really unhappy with how he went in on him, and that kind of reflected the weather there, as it was stormy, aggressive weather, and he went in hard on Maynell there. Not a very nice challenge at all.
Oh, nice simile work from Tim. Rhys Maynell, I'm happy to say, is okay. The actual free kick is going to be taken a little closer than where Rhys Maynell was fouled, because the referee had given the advantage. I think he's spoken to Richard Davis, but he hasn't pulled a card out. And now it's Maynell with a chance to distribute this one into the area. He does so, finds Alex Johnson, he's free, gets a little flick on it, it bounces off the top of the crossbar and behind. And wouldn't you know it, guys, his first chance, a great ball into the area, good work from Alex Johnson. Just gets the little touch that is needed to send it goal bound, but it goes over, clipping the crossbar on its way.
What a story that would have been, with Rhys Maynell picking himself up after feeling a bit hard done by that challenge, floating in a lovely ball. Johnson's head just drifted over the bar, agonisingly clipping off the top of it. Unlucky for Guiseley.
And yet still, we have to get the ball in the back of that net for the Lions, who've just once again shown a familiar tale of being behind here at Nethermoor. This is such an important game. Andy Holdsworth now has the ball inside his own half. He's just robbed now by Carver. Carver plays it out to Walker. Walker now goes towards the edge of the 18-yard box, back in towards Carver. Carver stepped himself into an offside position. They should have made more of that, Barrow. Andy Holdsworth caught out by Carver. And the man who's making his debut in the end was found wanting, really, by getting himself into an offside position when really Barrow should have been looking at getting another goal on the board.
Yeah, Holdsworth there just lost his footing. It was unexpected from the experienced right back who's been strong early on, getting in some challenges, but almost caused a goal there.
Well, Johnson's just earned another free kick, but it has to be said, rather weak from Davis that he opted to go behind over the Guiseley man. And it's a throw. It's a free kick, rather, on the edge of the centre circle. Launched forward in towards the penalty area, flicked on and away for another Guiseley corner. For a Guiseley corner, in fact, I think this is our first of the match.
Yeah, first corner, first chance to get the big men forward from the back. It's great having these two big centre backs. You can get a header in, and hopefully it could be a chance for it to respond for Guiseley now.
So the corner here to be taken by Wayne Brooksby on the left-hand side. Whipped in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Just to show how bad the wind is, it went up in the air. It was heading towards the penalty spot originally, but the wind caught it and just sent it behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, you kind of thought before there maybe the wind could cause some problems for the Barrow keeper McMillan there, but it did the opposite and just flew out after Brooksby was looking to get it in towards the penalty spot, like you say.
So, goal kick to Barrow. The fortune has favoured the visitors, but they've also scored a goal. And now Guiseley try to work down this left-hand side. Johnson and Williams having that almighty battle that they are this afternoon. Thrown in from Danny Forrest from the left-hand side, but cleared now by Barrow, who come forward now once again. This time Nicky Walker straight through the Guiseley defence, cut out well by Danny Boshell. Lays it out wide to Wayne Brooksby. And then helped on to Gavin Rothery well from Andy Holdsworth. Rothery finds Boshell. Boshell square. Maynell just comes over the halfway line. Maynell feeds the ball in towards Alex Johnson. Well shadowed here by Williams. Good ball into Forrest though from Johnson. Forrest turns one man, lays it back to Johnson. Johnson on the edge of the area. Can he get a shot away? No. Lays it off to Rothery. Rothery keeps the ball moving well. Heads it back towards Alex Johnson. He's under pressure here from Carver. Johnson does really well. Holdsworth does really well. And then in the end, Stevens steps across and launches it out into touch. Conditions look very difficult down there.
Yeah, it looks hard to get possession of the ball for Guiseley. Like you say, the conditions aren't helping, and it's just these challenges flying in possibly could be a bit damaging.
Guiseley 0, Barrow 1. The goal scorer, Sam Sheridan. A free kick on 21 minutes from the stand-in captain for Barrow today. The Lions find themselves a goal behind, but they did so against North Ferriby 9 days ago. They went on to win that game. Perhaps history will repeat itself. At the moment, the Lions are doing it the hard way. It's back here with Lockwood. Forward to the halfway line. Rothery feeds a nice ball forward towards Johnson. Williams shadows it really well and gets the better of Johnson on this occasion. Lays it forward up towards Carver rather, and it's cut out by Lockwood and then picked out well by Nicky Walker. Out here towards Arneson. Arneson with Jake Lawler to beat. Jake Lawler catches him, but he's won the ball. The referee says, despite the protests of the Barrow fans who are encamped on the far side underneath the changing room stand, and it's going to be a throw-in. Arneson gets up, he's protesting, but I think Lawler just perhaps got enough of that ball.
Yeah, he definitely slid in, got the ball nicely there, picked himself up, and Arneson, I think, was trying to buy something off the referee there that wasn't there at all.
So a throw-in for Barrow on the left-hand side, whipped in up towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed back by Maynell towards the goalkeeper, but Maynell's got it slightly wrong. Stephen Drench couldn't keep it in, and it's going to be a corner to Barrow, a cheap one to concede.
Yeah, that wasn't needed from Maynell there. He just needed to just nod it softly down to the feet of Drench, and Drench had to pick it up, and that's where you think if it was in front of the goal, that's caused all kinds of problems for Stephen Drench there. Only a corner though.
Corner to Barrow, taken on the right-hand side as they attack the Guiseley goal. Taken short towards, well, taken low, sorry, towards the Sorry, the wind's just taken my team sheet once again, and my phone with it, and everything was just complete blustery conditions here this afternoon.
The wind is really aggressive here. We're struggling in the press box with everything blowing away, and yeah, that was almost lost Colin there, I think.
Yeah, I felt like Dorothy there for a moment. There's a simile we probably don't want to go down. Guiseley now have to defend, but it's been won by Barrow. You haven't missed anything whilst we've been recovering our things. I think I'm going to just try and get hold of my team sheet and things up here for a moment. But the ball on the halfway line with Rhys Maynell. He lays it back here to Adam Lockwood. Lockwood and Jake Lawler have the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box. Under no pressure, long one forward here. Nodded down by Holdsworth, who's quite advanced from his right-back position. And then Sheridan steps across. He's been at the heart of most things this afternoon. And clears, gets it off. Bounces the ball off the Guiseley man, and it's gone out for a throw-in to Barrow. And we've had 31 minutes as we hit the half-hour mark. Guiseley are a goal behind, and plenty of work to do to get back in this game, Tim.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and Guiseley, the goal behind. An interesting battle to see here coming on is the, as we mentioned, Johnson with the Williams, the Barrow centre-back. It's really Williams holding on to him a lot. The strength is there, and you'll see it now coming on. Yeah,
ball's just been played towards Alex Johnson. Won again, though, by Williams, who was having trouble, but I have to say in the last 2 or 3 occasions has just got the better of the Guiseley man, I'm afraid to say, and he's this time knocked the ball out into touch. Square now to Jack Rea from Rhys Maynell from the throw-in. Picked up by Rothery. Danny Boshell looks forward, finds Forrest. Forrest back to goal, 3 players around him, tries to start a run, cut out by Williams. Forrest not getting much joy at the moment. Long ball forward now, looking for Carver. Carver has Lockwood ahead of him. Carver tries to twist and turn, does well, goes down towards the touchline, gets the ball into the area, overhits it. It's gone behind for a goal kick. Well, no, it hasn't actually. It's still stayed on. Unpredictable movements, kept on this time by Lacey. Lacey has a few options behind him, but Andy Holdsworth in great attention. Plays it back well to Radcliffe. Up to the edge of the 18-yard box where Jack Rea clears this time. And now Guiseley move forward with Boshell, finding Forrest. And Boshell lays it out square here to Rothery. Rothery now comes down the left-hand side. Square now to Danny Forrest. Forrest looks forward, takes a shot from distance. Forrest, a firm dipping drive from about 25 yards out, central to the goal. Dipped late, but just too late, and went just a few inches over the crossbar.
Yeah, he's been in the game early on, Danny Forrest, getting the ball, and he hasn't been in it recently. But what a shot that was there. He picked it up from about 30 yards out, let fly, and it wasn't far off.
Yeah, just over the crossbar. Perhaps Guiseley's best chance of this first half, apart from the Alex Johnson one that hit the crossbar. But it hasn't been a game full of chances. So far, it's the visitors who've scored the only goal. Sam Sheridan with a free kick on 21 minutes. Now Guiseley look to get back into it. A long ball forward. It goes over Danny Forrest. Picked up here by Jack Rea. In towards Forrest. Forrest is muscled out of it, and then eventually McMillan gets ahead of him. Hoofs the ball into the air. It bounces down awkwardly into the feet of Rothery. Rothery tries to just poke it forward towards Danny Boshell. Long one forward here. Stephen Drench collects coolly. Lays it into the feet of Rhys Maynell. Guiseley need to get the ball forward. This time it does fall kindly to Alex Johnson. Johnson tackled by Williams. Williams is infuriated. The ball's quickly taken though. The free kick on the touchline into the feet of Danny Boshell now. Boshell under great pressure from Sheridan. Lays it back to Lockwood. Plays the ball over the top. Johnson goes for it. Tries to get it on the edge of the 18-yard box, but all credit to Tony McMillan. Quickly off his line. Claimed the ball about chest height from Alex Johnson. Took it away from him.
Yeah, it was good reactions from the Barrow keeper there. He got out quickly to it. Johnson would have been free. The Barrow defence were looking across at the linesman, but there wasn't an offside flag, so Johnson would have been clear through there.
Cleared now by Lockwood as Barrow come forward. And actually, it's picked up by Gareth Arneson from a clearance that's deflected kindly for him. There's a Barrow man down at the moment, so Arneson just lets the ball go out into touch. And I think it was Marcus Carver who's down. It was from that clearance. The ball ricocheted. I don't know if into his face, possibly. And Guiseley will have to just wait while the physio comes on to pay some attention.
I know that if a ball came to me in this weather at the moment, you wouldn't like it at all. It's the temperature when a ball hits you like that doesn't help at all, and it could have really stung him as he gets some treatment here.
Guiseley trail. If you're just joining us here on Guiseley AFC Radio, don't forget we'll be on Twitter if you want to communicate with us via the medium of Twitter. We're at Guiseley Radio. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to bring you good news. Guiseley trailing by 1-0 here at Nethermoor. Sam Sheridan it is. A free kick on 21. That's the difference between the two sides. We've had our chances. Alex Johnson's headed the ball onto the crossbar, but they've been fairly few and far between for both sides. Ball back in play. Happy to say that Carver is fine. And Stephen Drench gives the ball back to McMillan. The ball headed on as Barrow looked to go down the left-hand side, but the pass that's directed towards Nicky Walker is too far, and it's gone out into touch. And I think there's something wrong with Robbie Williams. I don't know if he's got a cut, but the centre-half is going off to get some attention from the physio. So Barrow temporarily down to 10. Throw-in taken. Guys, still aren't profiting from this. In fact, they're having to defend as Arneson has laid the ball into Lacey. Lacey gets the ball on the left-hand side. He's got two players to aim for. Lacey whips one in. Held well by Stephen Drench. It was a shot that was directed towards the near post, and it was held by Stephen Drench. Drench distributes it well now out to Rothery. Rothery with great footwork keeps the ball in play on the halfway line. Now played in towards Danny Forrest by Boshell. Jack Rea. Boshell looks for options to his right, lays it into Holdsworth. Holdsworth and Brooksby combined down the right-hand side, but not to any great effect. And then it's helped onwards towards Jack Rea. Jack Rea picks up the ball, intercepts well, plays it into Boshell. Boshell finds Rothery. Rothery under great pressure from Burns. Burns defends really well, stops Rothery getting the ball away to Maynell, but it's picked up now by Lockwood. Lockwood comes forward, beats one man. The centre-half lays it out square now to Maynell. Maynell whips it into the area, just curls away the cross from Alex Johnson and was claimed by Tony McMillan. But good footwork there and a good run forward there from Adam Lockwood.
Yeah, it was. You don't expect your centre back to be going forward like that. It was excellent footwork, and Maynell with the outside of his foot trying to get across in, just couldn't get it.
Now, guys, you have to defend because the ball's come in here to get Marcus Carver. It sort of deflected kindly, found the front man who was on the edge of the 18-yard box, got a shot away with his left foot, didn't even hit the target, really should have put Guiseley 2 goals behind there.
It's just the way these Barrow chances are going at the moment. They're kind of out of nowhere. The goal coming from a free kick, the early chance with a ball coming over the top, and that one again out of nowhere came through. And Guiseley have got to make sure they're awake with these chances.
Well, there, Guiseley should have been 2 goals behind because I don't know if it's the conditions. Nobody sort of knew where the ball was landing. Marcus Carver was on the end of it and should really have marked his debut with a goal. And Stephen Drench plays the ball clear from the goal kick. Guiseley now have to defend once again. Arneson chasing this one down. Lockwood does well. Lockwood up towards the edge of the centre circle, but it's taken down well by Paddy Lacey. Guiseley win the ball back here. Danny Boshell out towards the feet of Gavin Rothery. Rothery out now here to Rhys Maynell, overlapping well down the left-hand side. Plays it forward to Johnson. Takes the ball back from Johnson. Maynell options to his right in Andy Holdsworth. Holdsworth comes forward. Now plays a long one forward, looking for Gavin Rothery. Finds the defender, but picked up second chance by Wayne Brooksby on the edge of the 18-yard box. Can't get the shot away. Really well defended. Then the ball played back. Jack Rea tackles the goalkeeper. Looks to cut the back pass short. The goalkeeper clears, bounces the ball off Rea, and it goes behind for a goal kick. But really good anticipation there from the Guiseley midfielder. Yeah,
he really broke forward well, and the determination there to come forward and challenge for that ball. It's good to see, and you really want this kind of this effort coming in from the Guiseley lads just before half-time to possibly get this equaliser at a great time.
Well, it would be a good time to get an equaliser, of course. It's always a great time to score a goal. But it's a weird sort of game at the moment, with the conditions playing a big part in it. Barrow at the moment are the team in front, leading by a 1-0. The clearance up towards Davis. Richard Davis nods it down, but it's cut out well. Now Adam Lockwood into the feet of Danny Forrest. Forrest unable to get that ball. And then Barrow win the ball back and play one forward. Lockwood has to allow Stephen Drench to come out to clear, but of course Marcus Carver, who's given nothing up all afternoon, wasn't ready to give that one up either. And Drench is forced into knocking the ball out into touch. And it's the Andy Burns who will take the throw in down this right-hand side. And he launches it into the area. And goalkeeper Drench gets a hold of it. And then clears up towards Johnson. Johnson under pressure from Dan Preston. Preston wins that header. Picked up now here by Brooksby. Rhea out to the right-hand side where Holdsworth takes it into the feet of Rhea. Now Boshell. Boshell forward towards Forrest. Forrest with his back lays the ball into the feet of Brooksby. Brooksby finds out Johnson. Johnson, 3 players around him. Into the feet of Brooksby. Brooksby's shot is saved by the goalkeeper. Saved bravely at his feet. The ball now alive. Goes down towards the corner flag. Cleared by Barrow. And it's gone out. And once again, guys, you have a chance there. Great work. Good interplay. But just the goalkeeper better than the finish. Now, the Lions come forward once again. Forrest on the edge of the 18-yard box goes down under a challenge. Referee waves away any protests. Nothing given there. And Guiseley get the ball all the way back to Stephen Drench after Barrow clear their lines.
Yeah, I think Forrest was a bit hopeful there with his appeals, and he's still nagging away at the referee. But what a chance just before that with Wayne Brooksby. He was through on goal, and he just had to stretch the foot out. He couldn't get the solid enough shot, and the keeper again, McMillan, he's coming off his line well here, really, in this first half. So, Barrow will restart with a throw-in their own right-back position. Launched forward, looking for the head of Gareth Arneson. This time, Rhys Maynell wins the head, and it's out for a Barrow throw. And it's Andy Burns who's coming up to the halfway line. Still 1-0 to the visitors here on Guiseley AFC radio. Headed out into the feet of Burns. Well, so rather out for the throw of Burns to nod back into play. He's got very few intention to take this one quickly. Barrow get the ball back underway now with Burns. Burns on the right-hand side lays one in towards the feet of Arneson. This time the ball falls kindly for Arneson, helps it into the area once again. Jake Lawless steps across and clears. And then the ball tried to be picked up by Danny Forrest, but he sort of knocks the ball out into touch inadvertently. It's still a throw into Barrow as they come down this right-hand side. Throw taken by Burns once again. Square by Davis to the feet of Paddy Lacey. Lacey out to Craig Radcliffe. Radcliffe, the left back, coming forward. It's tackled this time by Brooksby. Brooksby is fouled. A free kick is given. Just not really the momentum at the moment for Guiseley in the last 5. To get back in here, Danny Boshell now lays it in towards the feet of Forrest. Forrest beaten to it. The ball down the right-hand side, looking for Marcus Carver. Rhys Maynell gets there ahead of him, but it still comes forward. This time it's that man Sheridan who picks up the ball once again. The heart of most things for Barrow this afternoon. And Gavin Rothery now recovers the ball for the Lions, helps it out to Jack Rhea. Jack Rhea, under a fierce tackle from Andy Burns, concedes the ball. He protests that he should have had something, but the referee said no. And Holdsworth it is who will take the throw-in. A right-back position. Guiseley just encamped in their own half for a little while. Boshell now tries to change things, helps the ball over the halfway line. Cut out by Williams. And Barrow play the ball down the left-hand side. Overhit this time from Preston. Dan Preston, the defender, who has played his football at Birmingham City, Hereford United, Telford. Vastly experienced.
this time not showing a cool head. And there's a free kick. We're into the last minute of the first half. Guiseley currently trailing by a goal to nil. Guiseley do get a free kick. The ball's knocked forward towards Johnson, but Williams are beginning to get the better of him on most occasions at the moment. Goalkeeper Macmillan launches it in the air. Inevitably in these conditions it holds up in the air. Nobody can get a hold of it. Danny Boshell it is, nods it right now to Maynell, Lockwood and Boshell in the middle of the park. Just coolly working some possession out for Guiseley. Boshell helps it forward now to Holdsworth at right back. Holdsworth down towards Brooksby. Well defended this time by Preston. Guiseley have a throw in, about level with the edge of the penalty area. And they make one last foray into this half, into the Barrow, towards the Barrow goal. Holdsworth checks the pass, plays it square. Lockwood, under pressure there, coolly steps forward, brings the ball and plays it into the feet of Rhea. Now Boshell and Rhea combine. Rhea, some distance from goals, plays it in towards Johnson. Johnson just unable to get on the end of it. Maynell tidies up the clearance into the feet of Rothery. Rothery gets the ball towards the back post. That's Danny Forrest. Then it's the feet of Alex Johnson. It bounces off Johnson and into the back of the net. Guiseley back on level terms just before the breaks. Unconventional. I'm not sure how much Alex Johnson actually knew about it. But after Danny Forrest nodded the ball back across the 6-yard box, there was Alex Johnson, and Guiseley are back on level terms. It's Guiseley 1, Barrow 1.
Well, we mentioned it, what a time it could be to score, and it's a great time to get the equaliser just before half-time. It was great work by Gavin Rothery, got the cross in towards the back post, and Forrest combined well with Johnson. It's great to see the attacking players there, because they started attacking early on in this first half and it hasn't quite been there as such, but they all got forward there to combine for a great goal.
So Guiseley back on level terms. That'll make the half-time cup of tea taste better. And as you can probably tell, that's the whistle and that's the break. And thank goodness for that. Guiseley, well, they were positive in the first 10 or 15 minutes or so, and then as Barrow came forward, they got the goal. Sam Sheridan it was, a corking free kick. Central into the goal, pinned the ball into the right-hand side of the Stephen Drench. He'll probably be disappointed that he didn't stop it, but then after that, guys, he did have some chances. Alex Johnson had hit the crossbar. Danny Forrest had whipped a shot in from distance that had just skimmed the crossbar once again. And then Tony McMillan's made one or two wonderful saves, brave saves at feet, but eventually he was beaten rather unconventionally. Great ball in from Gavin Rothery. Nodded back across by Danny Forrest, then it bounced off Alex Johnson's shoulder or chest or something and just scooped itself into the top left-hand corner of that net. And at half-time here, it is Guiseley 1, Barrow 1.
Yeah, as we said, it was a great time to score, literally just before the half-time whistle went. And it was Guiseley attacking early on, getting those men forward, and that wasn't kind of happening. There was a good defence there from Williams in the first half. He was shutting Johnson out from knocking the ball down to the men out there. So that was good from a Barrow point of view. But then it was just about Guiseley getting those men forward and getting some more momentum going forward. And then it did come from a great run from Rothery, great ball in. And having those men in the middle, it might have not been the best finish in the world, but he was there and it eventually went in. So that's all a part of having the men in the box and getting these men forward.
Well, it is half-time. It's a chance for us to have a break and hopefully have a cup of tea and enjoy the half-time scoreline that we thought a few moments ago was going to be much worse than it actually was. But fortunately, the Lions have got back on level terms thanks to that late goal there from Alex Johnson. Plenty more to come in the second half, and we'll be bringing you full live match commentary of that. We're going to give you all the latest score updates now from the break, and it's going to be taken through from our own very Twitter expert, and I suppose this afternoon he's going to try and do his Jeff Stelling impression. It's Francis Granger. So Francis will take us through to the break, and keep you up to date with all the scores.
Okay, thanks, Colin. Games happening this afternoon. We'll start with the Premier League. Newcastle, that's a full-time result. Newcastle United beaten Chelsea 2-0. Very good result for Newcastle. Fulham 0, Manchester United 3. It's Hull City 1, Sunderland 0. Manchester City against Norwich. Stoke 1, Southampton 1. West Bromwich Albion leading Crystal Palace 1-0, and it's West Ham United 0, Aston Villa 0. So we now go to the Championship. Just waiting for the device to load here. The full-time result from earlier, Leicester City winning 3-0 at Watford. Birmingham City drawing with Charlton Athletic 0-0. Blackburn Rovers 0, Middlesbrough 0. Bolton Wanderers leading at Bournemouth. And on the Yorkshire side, Doncaster Rovers trailing Brighton 1-0. For any Leeds United fans, it's 0-0 at half-time against Yeovil. Millwall are leading Burnley 2-1. Nottingham Forest 0, Blackpool 0. Queen's Park Rangers and Derby County 1-1 at the moment. Another team involved in the Yorkshire side, Sheffield Wednesday leading Reading 3-1. And then it's Wigan Athletic 1 and Huddersfield Town 1. I'm just going to League 1. And League 1, it's Bristol City 1, Oldham 0. Coventry City are drawing 0-0 at home to Notts County. Brentford are leading Crawley Town 1-0 away from home. Bradford City are drawing 0-0 at Crewe Alexandra at the moment. Gillingham 0, Carlisle United 0. Milton Keynes Dons are drawing 0-0 with Walsall. Peterborough United are drawing 1-0 with Leyton Orient. Preston North End 0, Tranmere 0, Rovers 0. Another Yorkshire side, Rotherham United leading Colchester 2-1. Shrewsbury leading Sheffield United 1-0 there. Swindon 1, Port Vale 0, and Wolverhampton Wanderers are leading Stevenage 1-0. Going to League 2 now. It's Accrington Stanley 0, Wickham 0. Burton Albion are trailing Morecambe 1-0 at home. Torquay United are winning 2-1 away at Bury. Another Yorkshire side, York City, they're trailing Cheltenham Town 2-1. Chesterfield 1, Scunthorpe United 0. Fleetwood Town are leading Newport 1-0. It's Hartlepool United 1, Dagenham Redbridge 0. It's Oxford United 0, Bristol Rovers 0. Plymouth Argyle are drawing 0-0 home to Northampton. And it's Portsmouth leading Exeter 1-0. And it's Rochdale 1, Wimbledon 0. So we now go to the Conference Premier. It just loads up at this moment. Alfred Town are leading Halifax. Guiseley's was their near rivals until they got promoted, but they're leading Halifax 2-0. Barnet are beating Kidderminster Harriers 1-0. It's Chester 0, Aldershot 0. The Chester side who got promoted last season. Forest Green Rovers are leading Dartford 1-0. It's Gateshead 0, Luton Town 0. Hyde 1, Nuneaton 1. Macclesfield are leading Wrexham 2-1. Southport are beating Cambridge 1-0. Tamworth 0, Braintree 0. Welling and Lincoln City are drawing 0-0. And Woking and Grimsby Town are drawing 1-1. So now go to the Conference North. Guiseley's fellow league. It's Hednesford Town are beating Altrincham 2-1 away from home. It's Brackley Town 3, Boston United 0. Bradford Park Avenue, another nearby rival, they're beating Gloucester City 2-1. Stalybridge Celtic have beaten Histon 2-0. Vauxhall Motors are beating Leamington 1-0. And it's Worcester City 0, North Ferriby United 0. Workington 2 and Workington 2, Gainsborough Trinity 2. So, Jones, any scores that stand out from that, from what you've heard at the moment? Any sort of scorelines that strike you?
Yeah, it was a great game early on between Workington and Gainsborough. 2-2 there. 4 goals coming in. Kind of maybe resembles the game today. Workington really struggling this season, so they'll hope to be pushing on for a win. They're at home to Gainsborough, who are also a struggling side. So both of them will be really going for that, and you can tell with the 2-2 scoreline there. For Bradford Park Avenue as well, that's a good first half lead at home to Gloucester there. Gloucester are struggling this season, but Bradford will be happy. But what a first half for Brackley, eh? Brackley are 3-0 up at home to Boston. Boston 4th in the league so far, Brackley 6th. So it's a battle of the teams close to the top. And that's a massive first half for the 3-0 leaders Brackley there.
Yeah, and I suppose another interesting point is and if Guiseley can get a run of form going, the concentration will turn to that 5th spot for that for the playoff place, and it's North Ferriby United are currently drawing 0-0. So perhaps if Guiseley were to win, and one of the teams around the 5th spot were to drop points, it could open a door perhaps potentially if they get some form going.
Yeah, like you were talking before, Francis, with Mark Bauer. At the moment, I think it's just about kind of getting the momentum going and getting the results to push up the table. Guiseley are a team who are always kind of in the playoff areas and up there. So you'll be hoping that again this season, once they get the momentum going, they'll be able to get up there in the playoff spots. So yeah, they're just going to take each game as it goes. And like Mark's saying, I hope to push on for those playoffs if they can get the results going.
It's important at this stage with the start guys are made to take each game as it comes and not look too much at the table so they don't get affected by the pressure. I suppose, what do you think Mark Bauer will be saying after that first half? I mean, they did show some signs, not the most maybe clear-cut chances before that equaliser at the end, which would have come at a good time.
Yeah, he's going to be happy with how they ended getting that goal so late on. But I mean, the performance hasn't been as strong. I don't know if it's obviously the weather is playing a big part with this. It's blustery conditions, struggling to get possession at times. But he'll be asking a lot from his midfield and his defence to kind of keep shut, because these chances for Barrow are coming in from kind of random attacks and coming over the top, which Guiseley have got to be aware about. So he'll be telling them to keep tight there, and it's obviously in their hands now to get this win, because Guiseley are just above Barrow in the league, and at home here, Guiseley, with the momentum of the win the other week at North Ferriby, they can definitely push on. They were 1-0 down in that game, as me and Colin were talking about, and then they went on to win it. So let's hope that they can push on in this second half, and Mark will definitely be telling them that that's possible and to get this winning goal.
I suppose, what did you make to the lineup put out by Mark Bauer today? Who stood out for you in this half, and are there any who from the bench would you like to see come on?
Well, it was an interesting one looking at it, because there was a lot of attacking intent coming into the starting 11 there. Danny Forrest, obviously coming in to return for the Lions. It was interesting to see Danny Forrest early on. He really looked eager to impress Mark Bauer on his return to the club. So it was interesting to see him before the game, and then as it started, he was really lively. But he's him with the whole performance has just kind of dipped down a bit. And Alex Johnson was also up there. He was standing out as an important player, but Robbie Williams for Barrow has been sometimes quite aggressively holding him off, which you might think is good for this standard of football, to have that physical side to the defensive game. But at times it's been a bit too harsh on Johnson, the aggressiveness of Williams. But yeah, I'm sure they'll be seeing a lot more of the attacking plays in the second half, and let's hope they can push on.
Yeah, well, certainly. Thanks, Tim, as the teams enter rife now for the second half. Guys, who got to equalise at the crucial minute just on the stroke of half time, and they'll hopefully to build on that as we now hand over to Colin Robertson. when he's ready. He's just... Oh.
Well, thanks, Francis. One of the first media lessons there. Don't hand over when the guy's still got a cup of coffee in his hand and doesn't know where his mic is. But Guiseley, thanks to Francis and Tim for taking us through all those scores there. Guiseley currently level pegging here with Barrow. Some interesting scorelines from around the other grounds. Brackley with that fantastic 3-0 lead that they've got over Boston. They're really going some guns this season. Of course, already beaten us 2-0 in Steve Kittrick's last game for the Lions. We haven't seen a win since Jake Lawler headed home at Nethermoor on Bank Holiday Monday. And the weather conditions that day were somewhat different to the conditions that they are today, when Guiseley last picked up the 3 points at Nethermoor. They picked up 3 points at North Ferriby last time round, though, and nobody could see that coming. Today they've come from a goal behind. Sam Sheridan scoring on 21 minutes to come back onto level terms. Alex Johnson, rather unconventional goal, but they all count. And the Lions are back, and it's now 1 each at the break. We're coming out for the second half. Referee just teeing up things between the two sides. Barrow going to be playing from right to left this half, shooting towards the railway end. And Guiseley from left to right, of course, in white shirts, dark blue shorts and dark blue socks, as you would expect in the home series from the home side, and Barrow in all yellow. Honestly, Tim, I'm so cold at the moment, I can barely speak.
Yeah, I think not bringing your gloves was a fatal error there. You're making the most of your sleeves to try and keep it warm. But yeah, it's totally different to the months ago where we had sunny weather. It's just blustery and hard to get control.
Now Walker comes forward with the ball for Barrow. Just plays a rather nonchalant ball into the area and has evaded everyone. It's gone all the way back to Stephen Drench. We are underway now. Just run through those two sides then again for you. Tony McMillan, Andy Burns, Craig Radcliffe, Robbie Williams, Dan Preston, Richard Davies, Paddy Lacey, Sam Sheridan, Gareth Arneson, Marcus Carver and Nicky Walker for Barrow, if you're just joining us. And for Guiseley, Stephen Drench, Andy Holdsworth, Rhys Maynell, Jack Rhea, Adam Lockwood, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Danny Boshell, Alex Johnson, Danny Forrest, and Gavin Rothery. Long ball from Stephen Drench, looking for the head of Danny Forrest, knocks it down towards Brooksby, picked up by Johnson, the goal scorer, lays it back here to Danny Boshell. Boshell under pressure, lays it back to Jake Lawler. Lawler just picks a ball out for Jack Rhea to run onto. Rhea steps forward just to check his run and plays it back to Andy Holdsworth. Holdsworth out wide to Johnson. Johnson under pressure, earns his side a throw on the right-hand side. Guiseley coming forward now with a throw-in by Andy Holdsworth into the feet of Brooksby. Brooksby, I think, has earned the side a corner. Slightly missighted here, but yes, Guiseley do have the first corner of the second half. On the right-hand side, well worked. Whipped in now by Brooksby, looking for Lawler. Lawler gets ahead, but it just goes away from goal. As far as Rhys Maynell. Rhys Maynell tries to get it back in. Cut out by Williams. Boshell lets the ball back to Jack Rhea. Jack Rhea skips it out to the right-hand side, but it's a poor ball from Rhea. And now Barrow can come on the counter-attack now. Look very lively down this left-hand side with Marcus Carver coming down the left flank, shadowed by Rhea, but Carver gets the better of him, goes to the byline, looks for his options. He's got Arneson, lays it back to Arneson, still on that left flank. Arneson lays it square into Sheridan. Then the shot comes in from Walker, a curling shot, but it's got no power, straight into the hands of Stephen Drench.
Yeah, dangerous looking counter-attack from Barrow, not with the finish they'd have wanted. It's good intent there from Jack Rhea to get back with his man, and he was important there in kind of slowing the attack down on this left-hand side.
Now Guiseley can come forward once again. Brooksby, twisting and turning, gets bundled over by Preston inside the centre circle. And it's going to be a free kick to Guiseley inside the Barrow half, just level at the edge of the centre circle here. And Gavin Rothery stands over it. As is always the way nowadays, so does Arneson. And finally Guiseley get the ball underway. Out here to Rhys Maynell on the left-hand side. Whips the ball in, looks for Forrest. Forrest gets on the end of it, but so does Preston. Makes an important challenge, does Preston. Great ball in there from Rhys Maynell. Ball's cleared up to the halfway line. Lockwood gets it though. Boshell now looks to orchestrate something else. Lays the ball out towards Maynell. Maynell just plays a beautiful ball in here to Johnson. Johnson gets the ball. He was offside but took it down well. Anyway, great save once again from Tony McMillan, has to be said. Came off his line so sharply. And Guiseley are once again denied, this time by the flag and the goalkeeper. But good movement there from the Lions.
Yeah, again, we said McMillan quick off his line. He's causing Johnson some frustration how quick he's off his line. But yeah, it was fantastic play to get it forward to Johnson.
And the ball's just been allowed to go all the way back to Stephen Drench. Drench tries to loft it forward, looking for Forrest, but it's gone out. Interesting bench this afternoon for Guisey. No doubt we'll see the introduction of one or two of these. Ben Parker, Michael Potts, Louis Swain and Craig Hobson. Steve Dickinson, also listed. Obviously the reserve goalkeeper, also featured in today's programme. Good interview with Rachel O'Connor. Guisey now defending because Barrow have a throw. Craig Radcliffe will take. He's looking for options. It's about midway through the Guisey half. Cut out by Holdsworth. Radcliffe does well to pick it up. Plays it square. Cut out by Danny Boshell. Into the feet of Rhys Maynell. Had a good afternoon this. He's had a good game this afternoon. He plays a long ball forward though. Goes over the head of Danny Forrest. Jack Rea and Andy Holdsworth combine here on the near side. Plays the ball in towards Danny Boshell. Boshell beaten to it by Brooksby. Then Boshell is bundled over. But Holdsworth steps across and wins the ball. Now, what can Guisey do with this? Plays the ball out, looking for Gavin Rothery. Really well cut out, but a really heavy tackle on Andy Holdsworth has stopped play, and the Guisey have a free kick in a dangerous area. And in the end, at first it looked like a poor ball from Holdsworth, but the foul had come in, and this is a free kick in a dangerous position, Tim. Yeah,
Dan Preston went in hard on Holdsworth there. He's looking good to get forward, and as we were saying with Maynell, that was part of the good signs for Guiseley early on. The fullbacks pushing on, and it's good attacking intent by Holdsworth, and he's won a free kick in a dangerous position.
So 51 minutes gone here. Guiseley have a free kick. It's about 25 yards from goal. Taken by Wayne Brooksby. A great shot. Bounces back off the post. A wonderful strike from Wayne Brooksby. Bounces back off the angle of the upright and the crossbar almost. The goalkeeper, Tony McMillan, was stretching for it. Wasn't going to get there. Guisey almost get the advantage. They have the throw in now, near on the right-hand side. Ball played in from Andy Holdsworth, though. Given away to Barrow. They can come on the counter-attack, and had a better ball come in there from Davies. He might have set Marcus Carver away. But as it is, the Lions could almost have been 2-1 ahead, Tim.
What an effort from Brooksby there with the free kick. He was the danger man in with North Ferriby in terms of getting goals. He got 2, and he was so close to one there, inches from killing to the top corner with a free kick there. Unlucky.
So the Lions have just hit that woodwork on what, by my reckoning, 2 occasions now. They've got one in the back of the net, and then so have Barrow. They've had their chances too. 1-1 here on Guiseley AFC Radio. Don't forget, if you are tuning in and you want to share your thoughts with us, we are at Guiseley Radio. Keep them clean. Ball goes forward, and it's gone into Stephen Drench. But at the moment, the Lions are having the better of this second period. Ball forward from Stephen Drench. It's headed away and then going to be tidied up well by Paddy Lacey, former Wednesday and Sheffield Wednesday and Bradford City player. The ball played forward now, picked up nicely by Walker. Walker square to Arneson. Arneson on the edge of the D takes a shot. Low curling shot, but it's wide of the mark. And this time, Stephen Drench has no worries with that effort from Arneson. He has been a real threat this afternoon. Guiseley 1. Barrow 1. And we've had about 54 minutes gone by my reckoning. The Lions looking better in the second period since they've got back on level terms. Very difficult conditions here. Squally winds and squally showers. It's cold. We had a real rainfall when I set off from home just 10 minutes before I got here. But it didn't seem to be here. It seems to be sporadic rain. Real gusts of wind. Another ball forward looking for Danny Forrest. He's been given a free kick, I think. And Guiseley have a free kick in a dangerous position. And I thought at first Danny Forrest was offside because he seemed to shout towards the referee, but it was a free kick given against Robbie Williams. Well,
it was the linesman there waving his flag quite aggressively, so it was obviously he saw the foul early on. And Danny Forrest was as confused as the Barrow defence there. He looked over like, why are you giving me offside?
Well, guys, you have a free kick, and it's about level with the edge of the D, but it's on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Andy Holdsworth and Wayne Brooksby step over it. Rhys Maynell too. Guys, you've hit the woodwork from the free kick. Wayne Brooksby with a wonderful strike a few moments earlier. 55 minutes gone. Maynell takes a free kick, takes a shot that just comes off the goalkeeper's palms down at his left-hand side of the goal, and he just palms it behind for a corner. Another good free kick, though.
Yeah, that one needed the left foot in swinger there towards the corner. It might have just been creeping wide, but the keeper didn't know that. He had to push it out. So it's good keeping again by McMillan. Great effort by Maynell.
Brooksby with the corner, whips it in towards the back post, up towards the head of Jake Lawler, headed away by Williams, only as far as Boshell. Boshell gets it into the area. Forrest takes a shot, deflected away. Johnson chases it, goes down to the left-hand flank as Guiseley attack. Johnson gets the ball back into the area, goes behind for a goal kick. Not the touch he wanted, but good football again from Guiseley. And playing much more football in this final third than they were in the first half of the Barrow, as they look to play into the Barrow half. But now it looks like the visitors are going to make a change. It's going to be Nicky Walker who's coming off. The former Rotherham United youth player, just 19. It's going to be replaced by Nick Rushton. And Guiseley will have to face a slightly different lineup, and Nick Rushton takes his place. Maybe just Barrow thinking that they've got to change things in this second period, because Guiseley are getting the momentum, getting on top here. Throw in. Andy Holdsworth wins from the goal kick. A throw in and takes it into the feet of Brooksby. Gets back to Jake Lawler. And then a long, good ball from Lawler. Finds Alex Johnson. The goalkeeper comes out of his goal. And eventually, it's tidied up really well by Williams. A great ball forward from Lawler. Picked up by Johnson on the edge of the 18-yard box. Went round the goalkeeper, but there was Williams just to take the ball away from AJ, just as he looked to pull the trigger. And the danger passes, and the ball's in the hands of the Barrow goalkeeper.
Yeah, McMillan again, quick off his line. It's always a problem here with Johnson, the battle between him and McMillan, who's going to get there first. And McMillan almost tripped him as Johnson just beat him to it and nicked it past him. So it's good again from Johnson to get forward. Hopefully he can get that touch and get it in the net.
Guiseley have the ball inside their own half. Square from Holdsworth to find Boshell. Boshell's under pressure here from Carver and Arneson chasing down Lockwood. Lockwood very cool with the ball at his feet. Plays the ball out wide to Rhys Maynell and then forward to Rothery. Rothery into the feet of Johnson. Johnson's control isn't what he'll have wanted. Loses possession, but tidied up well by Lockwood and helped back to the goalkeeper, Stephen Drench, who launches it up to the halfway line. Taken down again by Johnson. Johnson lays it back into the feet of Jack Rea. The ball back towards him is a little bit ahead of him, asking too much of the young striker. And it's cleared by Barrow. Won the header by Danny Boshell. And then picked up again here by Sam Sheridan. Sheridan launches the ball forward, looking for Arneson. Cut out well by Guiseley. Now the substitute, Rushton, gets onto the ball. Tackled by Jack Rea. Really good tackle. Then a late tackle on Rhys Maynell, who's had a couple of challenges on him this afternoon. And I think the referee's just going to have a word with Carver this time. He just tells him to cut out the wild lunges.
Yeah, he's starting to carve into him there, isn't he? But
Oh dear.
Maynell taking a few blocks, like you say. Some late challengers coming in, and Barrow will need to calm that down because they don't want any player to lose. Otherwise, it'll really open up for Guiseley, who are starting this second half really positively.
Yeah, very bright start from the Lions. Stephen Drench launches it long, looking for Johnson, goes into the area just ahead of Danny Forrest and back into the goalkeeper's hands. Once again, the Lions just seeming to get on the end of the long balls forward. It certainly seems that the wind, I was struggling to see who had the advantage with the wind in the first half, and I would suggest that possibly it's in Guiseley's favour. Barrow now have the ball with Carver, who slips. It's down by the corner flag under close attention with Rhys Maynell in hand. Rhys Maynell does really well, gets a foot into the ball deflects it off the Barrow man, and it's gone out for a Guiseley throw. They're still encamped in their own half, though, the Lions, because Maynell takes the throw just a few yards from the corner flag. Steals a few yards, to be fair. Burns does get a head onto it for Barrow, and then eventually it's cleared out. Once again, gone out into touch for another Guiseley throw. Yeah, I was just saying that it's hard to see. I mean, if you look at the flags over there on the right-hand side, it looks as if the wind's coming this way. It seems to be quite a swirling wind. It was very difficult to understand who had the advantage, but maybe the conditions are sort of evolving out there on the pitch. I know that at one point in the first half, the wind was blowing directly into the stand because it was bringing all that rain with it, wasn't it, and the gusts that we had. So it's a difficult one to know. Barrow now come forward, headed away by Lockwood. Barrow throw, midway through the Guiseley half, on the right-hand side. It's, on my reckoning, heading up towards the hour mark. The Lions are drawing here with Barrow, 1-1. Throw goes into the feet of Arneson, now square here to Davis. Davis, about 30 yards from goal, lays the ball out to the right, where Burns makes the overlap from right back, plays the ball into the area, headed up into the air by Jake Lawler. He's conceded a corner. It was a difficult one to deal with, though, from Andy Burns. A great ball into the area, headed over by Lawler, and it's going to be Barrow's first corner of the second half. Yeah,
it was just as we were talking about the wind picking up, it kind of died down there and let Barrow have a bit of a get it down and play some football, and it was a dangerous ball in, and Drench had to judge it well.
Sheridan now with the corner, whips it in, headed away by Jack Rea. And it comes back out towards Sheridan, takes it down well, under close attention there from Gavin Rothery, who takes the ball away from him, plays it down the flank looking for Johnson, cut out by Burns. Burns helps it back into the Guiseley half, headed on by Maynell into the feet of Danny Forrest. Forrest under pressure from Sheridan, takes it past him, isn't going to beat the second tackle there of Davis. It was a very good challenge from Richard Davis, and then Guiseley win another throw-in just in front of the Barrow dugout. You just wonder what sort of changes. No sign of any substitutions. Obviously, Mark Bauer very happy with the way his team have set about the second half. Not looking to change it as it stands. The Lions currently drawing, though. They still need that second goal. They've had some chances in this second period, though. None better than Wayne Brooksby's free kick that came back off the upright. But Barrow currently have the momentum. A good ball into the area. Header in from Rushton, the substitute. It was a little far out. Didn't have the power that was ever going to beat Stephen Drench. But just a sign that Barrow are far from out of this match. Ball forward looking for Alex Johnson. Cleared by Tony McMillan. It's gone out for a Guiseley throw.
Yeah, dangerous there. Guiseley had to be aware. Drench, it didn't seem like it was going to cause him any problems from where the header came from, to be honest. But then it was a good attacking header down towards the corner. Drench had to be aware. It's smart goalkeeping to make the save low down to his right.
Andy Holdsworth will take the throw. A few yards inside the Guiseley half. Launched forward, looking for Danny Forrest. Headed away by Dan Preston. Holdsworth it is, again, who has a throw this time just inside the Barrow half. Plays the ball square. Just a little bit behind Rhys Maynell, who has to work hard to recover possession. And then Maynell feeds it into Gavin Rothery, helped forward up towards the halfway line, nodded down. It's a little push on Danny Boshell, but nothing given. Jack Rea does well to win the ball back on the halfway line. Keeps play going despite being brought down. Referee gives the advantage, and then as Rea tried to play the ball through to Brooksby, Holdsworth got in the way, and it's deflected kindly. Now Barrow can come forward. Well watched by Lawler, because a long ball forward was looking for Marcus Carver. He headed it back to Stephen Drench very coolly. Clearance from Drench up to the halfway line, headed on by Lacey into the feet of Gareth Arneson. Arneson back here to Davis. Davis has played very well this afternoon for the visitors. Gets a good tackle in on Danny Boshell to keep possession for Barrow. Into Lacey. Lacey just feeds it forward, looking for Rushton. Rushton tries to get past a man, but he's beaten to it. Now it's up towards Alex Johnson. Johnson keeps it in touch just in front of the dugout, but is beaten to it by Williams after doing so. Williams plays it forward, beaten away by Lockwood. Now up here to Danny Forrest inside the Barrow half. Forrest tries to run down the left-hand side. Well battled away by Dan Preston. And then Preston and Forrest have a bit of a tussle on the touchline. And it's going to be a throw-in, I think, to Barrow. And there's a few complaints that was perhaps over-physical, that coming together.
Yeah, Danny Forrest really showing his eagerness to get on the ball there. There's interesting lot of battles going on in midfield. Like you say, Davis is playing very well. Jack Rear's battling on. So it's interesting to see if anyone can win the ball in midfield and get it forward to the attackers.
Well, Barrow have a throw. Referee seems to have changed his mind after it was given one way. And Rhys Maynell does indeed get the throw for Guiseley after the linesman, I think, had indicated the other way. Danny Boshell plays it out right here to Andy Holdsworth. Holdsworth into the feet of, or looking for the feet of Alex Johnson. Just couldn't set his position and it's cut out and Barrow clear. Stephen Drench has time to take the ball into the area. Still Guiseley 1, Barrow 1 on Guiseley AFC radio, if you're tuning in. We do seem to have a good number of listeners this afternoon. The Lions are doing well in the second period. At the moment, Guiseley are on level terms. The ball flipped forward now here, looking for Gavin Rothery. Rothery's taken a bit of a knock there from Davis, but the play continues. It's cut out anyway by Lockwood on the halfway line. Lockwood and Boshell just trying to get hold of the ball. Barrow playing a very high line, looking to close down the defenders. Not letting Guiseley play the ball out from the back. Jack Rear has the ball inside the centre circle. Out wide here to Holdsworth. Holdsworth looking for Johnson. Once again beaten away by Preston. And then Lacey helps the ball on to Arneson. Arneson tries to play it square. He's cut out as well by Johnson. No, nobody seems to be able to get the ball forward without it bouncing off a player that's not intended target. Brooksby tries to change that. He gets the ball on the touchline, plays it square into Rothery. Rothery again beaten away by Davis. Richard Davis having an excellent game for Barrow. Jack Rear likewise for Guiseley. Wins the ball back. Holdsworth into the feet of Jack Rear. Ball square now to Gavin Rothery. Rothery under a fierce challenge there from Robbie Williams, who just takes the ball away from him and gets enough of it. And Barrow come away with the ball onto the halfway line. It's Burns. Square now to Davis. Into the substitute, Rushton. Now into Carver. He gets a shot away. Drench goes to ground. Looks very cool about it, as if he knew where it was going. I'm not sure he did, but we'll take that. And it's gone behind for a goal kick, Tim.
Yeah, he dragged it away a bit there. It's just trying to get this for Guiseley, getting this passing going. They get the first few passes together in midfield, and then the third one to try and get it towards the area just isn't quite there. It's running away from it a bit. The weather isn't helping. It's still blustery and it's still pushing the ball away from where they want it to, but they just need to calm down on the ball, get these fullbacks forward like they did in the first half.
Well, Guiseley still level pegging here with Barrow. Tight contest so far. Long ball just played in the direction of Wayne Brooksby. It's just gone ahead of him and behind for a goal kick. Looks like Barrow going to make some more changes. There's going to be another substitute in a few moments' time, by all accounts. Not quite sure who. Goal kick, I think, is going to be taken first. Certainly no hurry. It's taken up towards Arneson. Lawler really powerful in the air with the size of him. He's very difficult to beat. Wins the header. Ball in towards Rhea. Rhea just can't get the touch he wants on it. Picked up by Barrow, but then cut out by Danny Boshell. Played into Gavin Rothery. Rothery get no space on the ball today. Plays the ball out wide to Brooksby. And Brooksby tries to feed the ball back into Holdsworth. Brooksby and Holdsworth combine to keep possession, and Danny Boshell gives it away rather cheaply, and now Barrow can come forward here with Carver once again trying to get past Lockwood. Really good positioning from Lockwood just to make sure that Carver can't go past him. In the end, Barrow do retain possession now with Burns. Burns on the right hand side, gets the ball into the area, another good ball whipped in from the right back. Headed away only as far as the Barrow number 2 once again, and Burns can't get past his man this time. Gets a throw into the feet as Rushton gets it. The substitute goes past one. Cut out well by the second. Then a great shot comes in from Paddy Lacey. Stephen Drench anticipated it, dived down to his right and palms it behind for a corner kick.
Yeah, that was flying into the bottom corner there. It's a really important save from Drench, and he managed to palm it away for a corner. Great keeping, but that's a dangerous attack from Barrow, and it's a good spell of pressure for them at the moment.
And Barrow now have a corner on the left-hand side as they come forward once again. Sheridan, he's got an opportunity to put Stephen Drench under more pressure. Drench does have to palm it. It comes back in, and it's a shot from Rushton. Blocked on the line by Danny Boshell. Goes behind once again for a corner. Drench not convincing as the ball whipped in, perhaps taken by the wind. Now Barrow have the wind up their sails. It's Sheridan again with the corner from the same side. Whips it in towards the back post. Up towards Williams. Taken away by Lockwood. Referee's assistant sees something. Gives the free kick to Guiseley against Williams. And the pressure is relieved, but some hairy moments there.
Yeah, a let off for Guiseley. They're coming in there. Drench on the dangerous corner that came in. He tried to punch it, didn't get a convincing punch on it at all. And fortunately, the experienced head of Danny Boshell was able there to block it for another corner.
Well, it looks like there's a bit of warming up that's going on the Guiseley bench. In the meanwhile, Danny Forrest tries to make a run down the left-hand side. It looks like it might be Craig Hobson who's stripping off at the moment. Guiseley have a throw, about level with the penalty area on the left-hand side as they attack this Barrow goal. Perhaps they can craft something out now. It's Rhys Maynell who has the throw. Looks for options. Plays it in towards Forrest. Towards Rothery, rather. But it's beaten away. Another throw in. And we are going to have a change. It's going to be Guiseley who are going to do the change, I think, before the throw-in. And I think it is, as I mentioned there, Craig Hobson and Danny Forrest, who's run this afternoon. Perhaps not got the positions that he wants to get into, or not been allowed to get into positions. But he certainly had a good impact back into this Guiseley side. Might have scored in that first half with that wonderful drive that just went a few inches over Tim.
Yeah, he's impressed the fans clearly here. They've given him a warm reception as he's come off the pitch. And he was lively early on, and his effort has always been there, and he's been putting in some great challenges. So it's early days for him back here, and I'm sure he'll come back in some games to get a goal.
Well, Craig Hobson will offer the threat as well up front. As he goes into the air, the ball whipped in, goes to the edge of the 6-yard box and headed away. This time the delivery not good enough to test the goalkeeper. Now taken away well by Arneson. Under great pressure, Gavin Rothery responds well with a super challenge to deny Arneson. And Guiseley tried to come forward, but it's cut out well by Lacey. It's good football again from Barrow as they defend well in midfield, but then the long ball forward rather aimless and goes all the way to Stephen Drench. Drench high in the air. The wind seems to have dropped somewhat. Up towards Hobson. Hobson gets his first touch. A good chest down this time. Up against Williams. And then a clearance that goes all the way back to Stephen Drench. Allows Guiseley to start things once again from inside their own half with Holdsworth. To Danny Boshell. Boshell into Jack Rea. Jack Rea has a few options ahead of him. Cuts back and then plays a ball looking for Alex Johnson, but it's well overhit and goes out for a throw-in.
Yeah, it could be a change of tactics here for Guiseley with Hobson coming on to partner Johnson up there. So it might change how Guiseley are attacking her differently here. Maybe they'll try to get the ball up towards his chest like they did before, rather than playing it in the midfield to feet.
Yeah, it's looking like Hobson's now the man in the most advanced position, with Johnson just playing behind him. Rhys Maynell now has the ball for Guiseley. Plays a long one, looking for Johnson. It's a good one. Johnson can't beat past his man. Certainly a lot of pressure on him from Preston. Claims from the Guiseley crowd that he was being pulled at. Referee doesn't agree. In the end, it's gone all the way through to the goalkeeper, Tony McMillan. McMillan with a long one forward, looking for the head of Arneson. Played down by the ex-Workington man. Into the feet of Rushton, the substitute. Does well. Plays the ball back to Lacey. Took that fierce drive a few minutes ago that forced Stephen Drench into such a good save. Lacey looks to try and get the ball into Burns on the right-hand side. Can't get through. Good work from Hobson. Tries to stop his man, but in the end fouls him. Davis, it was, who's gone to ground, and now Guiseley will have to defend a free kick.
Yeah, Hobson there, not happy with the decision given, but he was a bit clumsy coming back to defend, and Guiseley have got to switch on now. They've got all the men back apart from Johnson for this one.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough free kick to defend. There's plenty of yellow shirts all lining up on the edge of the 18-yard box. Whipped in once again by the captain Sheridan. Headed away by Lockwood. It's gone behind for a corner. Barrow look to press now as we head into the final quarter hour of this game. The Lions under pressure. Sheridan comes across to take a corner, and Guiseley were in 6s and 7s the last time Barrow had a corner from this side. So Stephen Drench is once again being blocked by Arneson on the line. The ball whipped in once again, a great ball in from Sheridan, headed away by Guiseley, only up towards the edge of the 18-yard box, nodded back on, back to Sheridan now in the left-hand side, tries to go past Jack Rea, gets a free kick for a handball right on the edge of the penalty area. Jack Rea, adjudged to have handled the ball, and now it's a free kick to Barrow, about level with the 6-yard box, right on the left-hand side, out on the left-hand side, of the penalty area. And this is a very dangerous position now. Barrow lining up players on the edge of the 6-yard box. Sheridan looks to distribute. His distribution's been so good. Stephen Drench marshals the line. Ball whipped in, headed away by Danny Boshell. Only as far as Lacey, and then again that shot from Lacey, Paddy Lacey. The left boot not quite so accurate as it was earlier on, and it flies over the bar and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, again, it's a let off for Guiseley. It's another good spell of pressure for Barrow. Not what you want to see for the home side late on in the game. And struggling to close them down midfield sometimes, Guiseley, without giving these free kicks away, isn't what they need at the moment.
Well, Barrow were about to make a substitution a while back, but they seem to have changed their minds. Guiseley, meanwhile, have made the change in Connor Hobson. They haven't got the ball to him yet. Headed away this time once again, and Barrow have sort of made up the yards rugby style. Guiseley have a throw. It's Andy Holdsworth in right back position, who takes it. Guiseley not looking like they're going to make much headway. Hobson gets a head onto it, headed forward by Ratcliffe, up to the halfway line, and then launched into the stand by Preston. That certainly woke us up if we were nodding off. Blasted into the advertising hoarding. Andy Holdsworth takes a throw, launches it down this right-hand side as Guiseley attack the goal. Holdsworth nods it on towards Johnson. Johnson once again getting under tremendous pressure from Preston. Williams steps across to clear. Very untidy moment that. Boshell, he tidies things up, plays the ball left here to Maynell. Maynell can make a run down this left flank. He has the ball now, square to Rothery. Rothery, about 30 yards from goal. 3 players to beat. Tries to go through them. And Rushton steps across and clears. In the end, the long clearance from Rushton goes all the way back to Stephen Drench without much threat. Jake Lawler out wide here to Holdsworth. Holdsworth comes over the halfway line. Cross to Jack Rea. Jack Rea under close attention from Lacey. Plays the ball into Brooksby. Brooksby's pass is wayward and Barrow win possession, but then give it away to Gavin Rothery on the edge of the D. Rothery runs at the back line. Tries to craft open an opportunity. Lays it back here to Jack Rea. Rea into the edge of the area where Alex Johnson's just denied by Preston. And then a clearance that's nodded into touch by Jake Lawler, and now Barrow can come into the Guiseley half, but there's finally going to be I thought we were going to finally have a change, but no, it's not. It's going to be a referee stopping the movement of the throw, but a good movement again there from Guiseley after a couple of sloppy balls.
Yeah, it's good intent from Guiseley, but they just haven't got that final pass there yet. They just need that maybe slice of luck that it will just allow Johnson to break through and maybe get Hobson on the ball a bit more.
Well, Rhys Maynell launches it down the left-hand side, flicked on by Holdsworth, and then Jake Lawler has to step across, and he sends that one into the ground behind the stand here, so we're just going to wait for another ball to come back on. Trying to keep up to date with the balls, I think, is quite hard today because of the weather conditions. We've lost a few. Seem to be plenty of opportunities for long clearances to go out of the ground. Barrow with a throw, about level with the penalty area on the left-hand side. Lay it in square. It's picked up here by Sheridan once again. Looks under pressure from Guiseley's 2 or 3 players that are around him. And in the end plays a poor ball forward, and it's gone out for a throw-in. Heading into the last 10, still 1 each. A point, I suppose, is a point, but it's not really what Mark Barrow will have wanted. Wanted a statement, really, after the victory at North Ferriby. Certainly wouldn't want to go on and lose this game. Now, Jack Rea has the ball inside the Guiseley half. Over the centre circle he goes, into the Barrow half with 3 or 4 players chasing him. Plays the ball forward, but it's not got the pass he'll have been wanting, under great pressure from Marcus Carver. The clearance from the goalkeeper only as far as Danny Boshell on the halfway line. Plays it forward, looking for Jack Rea. Jack Rea can't find any space. Nods the ball forward though. Gets it into the feet of Connor Hobson. Hobson takes a shot! And it's just past the upright. Hobson looked to get on the end of the ball in from Rea, and then the left-footed drive really didn't have the direction it should have had. Didn't even test the goalkeeper, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, Jack Rea there, excellent pushing forward. He made the run a few minutes earlier, out of the blue, just coming from midfield. That's just what Guiseley needed, someone to kind of make that run. And again there, he fed through Hobson well. Hobson possibly could have done better. Tough shot from long range though.
Yeah, on the left foot. But he'll still be disappointed not to have tested the goalkeeper at least. Barrow do look like they're going to make another change. In the meantime, we're back underway. Hobson's just winning the ball on the halfway line, away from Sheridan. Goes in for a firm challenge with Burns. The ball flicks up in the air, picked up now by Jack Rea. Under pressure, Jack Rea loses out to Lacey. Long one forward now from Barrow as they look to get behind. Stephen Drench comes out of the goal. He heads it into the path of Arneson. Now it's a chance for a really ambitious effort there from Rushton. Fortunately, the danger's passed, but just for a moment there, it looked like Stephen Drench had committed a cardinal sin of an error and given the ball away on the edge of the area and left the goal completely open. But fortunately, he got away with it that time, Tim.
Yeah, he did. He really did get away with it, like you say. He came out for the header. Obviously, he just needed to put it out of play, kept it in. Unfortunately, the Guiseley defence were aware and managed to get a block in before the second shot came in, which flew well wide.
Well, there's a double substitution going on here. Alex Ray Harvey, I think it's coming on for Richard Davis. And the other one is Gareth Arneson, who was almost involved just in that moment there. He's coming off. And Jamie Allen is coming on for these final moments, final last 10 or so that we will have, as the rain once again comes thundering down from the skies. It looks like Guiseley will be making some changes too. There's been some players warming up. So Richard Davis and Gareth Arneson both step off. Alex Ray Harvey and Jamie Allen come on. And I think Richard Davis in particular has impressed me this afternoon from Barrow. Stephen Drench now clears the ball, comes back towards Jake Lawler. Lawler misses the header, and Lockwood has to tidy up because he's under pressure from Carver. Holdsworth under pressure as well. The referee decides, and opposite, there was actually a foul on Lockwood. And does well, actually, the referee. I think referee Ian Turner's done well this afternoon. There is going to be a change for the Lions now, and it's Louis Swain, who, of course, is extended his loan until Boxing Day in Bradford City. He's coming on now. Alex Johnson it is that's going to make way in. He's done well as Alex Johnson this afternoon, hasn't he, Tim?
Yeah, he's got his goal. Slightly strange circumstance. Yeah, fortuitous, you could say. Yeah, how it went in the end. But he's been really lively. He's been looking to get on the end of balls. And if it wasn't for the awareness of McMillan in goal for Barrow, he might have got added a second to his tally today.
Swain on the ball straight away. Comes down the left-hand side. Plays the ball out wide here, where Rothery gets it into the area. Looks for Hobson. Just goes behind him. And then Guiseley pick up the second phase here with Jack Rea. Rea has really been having a real battle with Lacey in the second period, but Rea wins that one, gets it out to Rothery. Rothery now from the left, plays it in towards Swain. And that header, well, will go behind rather harmlessly for a goal kick. Somewhat disappointing end to that move. But it does look like it's heading towards a draw here at the moment. I know we've got another 5 minutes or so. But the Lions, at the moment, haven't been able to break down Barrow despite having plenty of chances to get the ball into the air in the second half. And Barrow themselves might also have snuck a goal in the second period, mightn't they? Yeah,
they've looked dangerous on the break, but they've been well organised for a side that's been struggling lately. So they'll be happy with the organisation of the midfield, like you say, with Davis. He had a solid game, and Williams has been organised at the back, keeping the Guiseley strikers at bay.
Now Barrow come forward here with Sheridan. He just lays it back for a moment, looking for options. And the option he picked out was Alex Ray Harvey, the substitute, and his touch was poor. Actually, he played a long ball over the back line all the way back to the goalkeeper. Drench under pressure, launches a long one forward, up towards Hobson, and Hobson's tackled by 2 players and earns a free kick. And it's a free kick about midway through the Barrow half, fairly central, so it's going to be a chance to get the ball up to the edge of the area, perhaps release one of the big men who are coming forward, Jake Lawler. Connor Hobson, of course, is already up there, and so does Adam Lockwood. So this ball will be distributed by Wayne Brooksby, who hit the upright with an earlier free kick, this time whipped in towards that 18-yard box, flicked away from the Guiseley attacking force, and then cleared into the Guiseley territory. And really good running here from the substitute, Jamie Allen. But Holdsworth keeps the ball away from him. Won back well by Swain on the left-hand side. And Brooksby now works well down this right flank. He's got Swain to the outside. If Swain can get this one into the area, guys, you have 2 players in the penalty box. And then Swain overruns it, keeps it in touch, but gives the ball straight back to Barrow. Picked up, though, well by Jack Rea. Into Boshell. Boshell plays it up towards Hobson. Hobson can't get on the end of it. Knocked away, only as far as Jack Rea, just inside the penalty area. Well won back by Jamie Allen. And Barrow now can defend and clear. And Allen gets it up to the halfway line, where it's picked up now by Carver. Carver beats Lockwood for pace. Goes towards the edge of the 18-yard box. He's got a man in the area. It's Rushton who's free. It flicks off the Guiseley defender, Lawler. Takes away from Rushton and somehow just goes past the upright and behind for a corner, but it was almost a sucker punch there from Barrow.
Yeah, Rushton was storming forward into the box. He was in acres of space, and an important touch from Lawler just dragged it away. But still danger from the corner. We've seen Barrow are dangerous in the air here.
Sheridan now with the corner on the left-hand side. They've all been at this side for Barrow this half. Whips it in, goes up towards the back post. Stephen Drench claims it well. Under pressure there because Williams, who's quite a sizable character, was trying to play it in at the back post. Drench just takes it away from him, then unfortunately just hits touch with his clearance. He's a bit frustrated. He was trying to clear that one quickly, but I think it was Arneson. I think it was Carver, rather, who was stood in front of him, preventing him to make the clearance.
Yeah, I think Arneson's been there all game. That's why we had it in his head. He's been frustrating the Guiseley defence sometimes.
Long one forward. Headed away. Well headed away there by Preston. Now picked up by Gavin Rothery on the halfway line. Connor Hobson, 3 or 4 players around him as soon as he gets the ball. But well won back here by Swain. Hobson just loses his footing at the key moment. Guiseley win it back with Holdsworth, and then Barrow win it. Both sides seem to sense that there could be a winner in this game for them. Right at the very death. Guiseley still drawing, still level pegging here with Barrow. 1 each. Very tight game. Both sides have had their chances in the second period. Guiseley have had the better of the possession, perhaps more ball in the final third. But Barrow certainly have looked dangerous and lively, and perhaps could have scored on the counter-attack just a few moments ago. It's a free throw in now for Barrow, just inside their own half, about level with the centre circle on the right-hand side. Played forward, headed away by Maynell. Lofted forward by Andy Burns. Very good performance from the right-back. He's played, of course, with Bolton and Bradford City in his time. Whipped some dangerous balls in. Jamie Allen now, the substitute. Wins a free kick for Barrow, right on the touchline. It's going to give the visitors a chance to whip this ball in, and they're going to have an opportunity to get the centre-halves forward, Williams and Preston. This one will be delivered from the right-hand side. Players, 3 or 4 yellow shirts right on the edge of the 18-yard box. Whipped in by Sheridan, looking for Williams. Takes a flick away from the Barrow man. Lockwood can't believe the referee's given the corner. He says it came off Williams last. It's gone behind for yet another corner on this left-hand side.
Yeah, Lockwood and Hobson really frustrated there that the referee gave a corner. They thought it came off the Barrow man last. But again, it is another corner from this area that Drench will have to be aware of early on.
Corner now to Barrow. Sheridan looks to whip this one in once again. Very dangerous moment here for Guiseley to defend. Ball comes in. It whips in with such difficulty. The curling corner has gone behind for a goal kick, but nobody can really follow the ball, and I think that's been in Guiseley's advantage actually on a couple of occasions, that the swirling wind has just taken the ball away from its intended destination.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened in the first half with Brooksby's corner. It kind of swung in and just straight back out, but Fortunately there for Guiseley, it went towards the back post and away from danger.
Well, as we head towards injury time or added time, I'll tell you what that's going to be when the board goes up. Guiseley are being held by Barrow. It's 1 each here at Nethermoor, but both sides have had chances. They could have won this game. And it's not over yet because Sheridan comes forward once again for the visitors. Steps across Andy Holdsworth, goes down, nothing given. And then it's out wide to Holdsworth, and then Sheridan comes in late on Holdsworth. Long ball forward by Holdsworth. Referee watches it really well and has a word with Sheridan. And the referee, I think Ian Turner's had a good game this afternoon. I don't think anyone's got on the cards, but I think in the final moments here, Sam Sheridan is. I think he was just a little bit frustrated. He felt he was fouled, I think, in that build-up with Andy Holdsworth, Tim.
Yeah, it was naughty there from Sheridan because he saw the frustration of not getting his decision and then went in late on the Holdsworth, the skipper for Guiseley. So not the nicest of challenges again. Barrow late on, getting in some late challenges.
I'd busy written the booking down. Apparently there wasn't. So it was a yellow card. The ball comes into the area. Guiseley have a chance. The ball floats in, back in by Rhys Maynell. A long one from Stephen Drench. Nobody got on the end of it. The goalkeeper steps across just to make a clearance. And Guiseley almost snatched the winner right at the death here. Held back by Andy Holdsworth, all the way back to Stephen Drench. Drench now can loft this one forward. He does so, looking for Louis Swain. Swain gets the header, but it's the wrong way. And Jack Rea has to send it all the way back. Not quite sure how many minutes of added time have been there. Announced, Tim. But it's picked up now by Connor Hobson. Hobson feeds the ball through to Louis Swain. Louis Swain's offside. Can he get the ball in the back of the net? He can! He lofted it over the goalkeeper. Louis Swain beat the offside trap, played in by Connor Hobson. And right at the end, the Guiseley substitute, the man who's on loan right till the end of Christmas, comes in and grabs the winning goal. Surely in stoppage time. It's Guiseley 2, Barrow 1.
Oh, it's reminiscent of the last win we had late on here at Nethermoor a few months ago. A great time to score. Louis Swain there, the substitute. He hasn't been fed much so far when he's come on, but then he was there. Great ball from Craig Hobson through to Louis Swain, and he took it ever so well, tucking it into the corner. And he's really put a smile on these Guiseley fans' faces now. Well,
there's going to be a substitute for Guiseley. I think it's just take the clock down as quickly as we can, as much as we can, because Barrow are going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at us. They'll feel they deserved something out of this game. Guiseley lead 2-1. Paddy Lacey starts things again. Ball forward by Burns. Guiseley have to be very disciplined now. Chested down by Rea, but Barrow pick it up. Cut out well by Danny Boshell. Then a good tackle from Jack Rea. Keeps things moving now to Gavin Rothery, who steps over the halfway line. Comes square now to Connor Hobson. Just need to hold things up now in the Barrow half. Hobson, under pressure, earns a free kick. And that's good for Guiseley's perspective. And then I think there's a little bit of petulance. A little bit of afters. And then finally we are going to have a yellow card, I think. And also a Guiseley substitute. And it's going to be a yellow card for Jamie Allen. And it's going to be Gavin Rothery who's making way at the very end. He's had a good game this afternoon, but perhaps just tactical. Allow Ben Parker a moment just to keep things cool. Use up a few moments there, Tim.
Yeah, I think you've got to credit Guiseley how they've just carried on in really difficult conditions today. They've carried on all the way to the end, and they've took their chance well. It is harsh on Barrow, who have fought and battled equally with Guiseley, but at the end of the day, it was a great finish. Guiseley have taken their chance, and they've got to come away happy if they can hold on to this.
Well, I thought I saw a clap of thunder there, or a clap of lightning. It's very dramatic. 431 fans have turned up to see this one. And the Lions are leading by 2-1. That very late winner from Louis Swain. Now, can they keep this lead deep into stoppage time? Throw in given to Barrow. Now, after Guiseley get things back underway. Hobson's not particularly happy with that. But it's a chance, nonetheless, for Guiseley to just defend and hold on to it. And the referee does indeed blow that final whistle. And what an afternoon it's been here at Nethermoor for the Lions. They hadn't won here since the end of August. A 1-0 late winner that day from Jake Lawler. Well, today it's been the last minute once again, and it's been a team who's come down from the northwest who's been the victims. Barrow had fought hard and looked like they might be likely to get to the winner in the last 10. Guiseley found themselves a goal behind after 21 minutes. Sam Sheridan it was who fired home a good free kick into the bottom right-hand corner. Excellent finish to give the visitors the lead. Guiseley got back on level terms at the break, just at the end of the first half. Alex Johnson it was who got something on the ball after Danny Forrest had nodded it back across the 6-yard box to bundle it over the line. And then in the second half, all sorts of chances at both ends, to be fair. Wayne Brooksby had a wonderful free kick that cannoned back off the upright and away. But at the end, well, the drama really unfolded as with the weather, as the thunder and lightning started. Well, it was Louis Swain who also produced the drama on the pitch. This time, fed through by Craig Hobson, just beat the offside trap, lofted the ball over the goalkeeper and hit the back of the net. And that finished it. Game, set and match to the Lions. Their first home win since August. The weather's changed somewhat since then, that's for sure. It's finished here. Guiseley 2, Barrow 1.
Yeah, the confidence that has come from the win recently clearly showed there towards the end. Guiseley continued to push on, and they took their chance so well. Louis Swain, inspired substitute from Mark Bauer there. But it has been a crazy game with the weather. It's been making it so hard for Guiseley to get a rhythm in their play, as well as the hard work from Barrow. But in the end, Guiseley can feel that they've worked hard and earned another 3 points to add on. That sometimes the performances that have been there recently, they've credited their points and they haven't come, so they can hold their head high, hold their heads high, and accept the 3 points in a messy game, in a messy circumstances with the weather. But in the end, 3 points is all that matters for Mark Bauer's men.
Yeah, well, we'll be hoping to catch up with the manager once we can brave the conditions. Most people are staying in the stand to let the weather just pass. A huge rain pour as the players warm down. I'm not sure warming down is quite the description you give it in these conditions, but it's been a wonderful afternoon. Guiseley have won 2-1. It's been the result we wanted, and it's been an exciting match. And we'll be back not on Tuesday night, even though there is a County Cup tie. We won't be covering those live, so do get yourself down here to Nethermoor for the County Cup tie on Tuesday night. But we'll be back next Saturday, equipment permitting, at Leamington to give you full match coverage of that tough away trip. But hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for now.